I think that's why. I think because you can't quite put your finger on why this movie exists. Like,
I think I can figure it out.
Where he was going originally when he went, this is my idea. Hear me out. This girl
for some reason
has issues, and the only thing that will make her feel better is a inside of her.
Yes. Someone else.
So I thought this movie changed for a second, and maybe he was faking this like anxiety, and he was like another rival gang was out to get him because the way that those trucks boxed him in, I was like, oh shit, something's gonna happen, and then he just went, oh my god, and I went, oh god, damn it, I'm done with this movie.
You heard of this movie?
No.
He did so good in that movie.
Yeah.
It was an Apple TV. It was an Apple Plus.
Swing and a miss.
It was an Apple Plus movie, but I
So this is what
to
you
be
do.
more like rolled.
You ever seen those things in which men get for shaving their beards in the bathroom for the mirrors, where it goes around your neck, and then you put the two magnets on the mirror, and it's like a giant bib.
Yeah.
So you do that
In the car.
but on the window. So while you're driving,
Makes sense.
whatever, and you're eating your tacos, and going everywhere.
That seems safe.
Yeah.
And then look, you just pinch it in the bottom, and look, it's a whole other taco.
Exactly. Welcome to the Decision Reel Movie Review Podcast, where we try and fail to review movies of today and yesterday. This week, we got Josh here, we got Tara here. We're doing what movie, Tara?
Black Snake Moan.
Because why?
Because I picked it.
Okay. That's a good
Because I picked it.
reason. I will say this. I have not seen this movie. Josh has not seen this movie.
This was your first.
This is the first time we have seen this movie.
Okay.
What do you think we thought of it?
I think you probably thought meh. with some sprinkled in.
I don't know if meh would describe it. I thought this was a completely different movie than what I've seen in trailers or like media, because there's memes around it, obviously. You know, the Samuel L. Jackson, the stare he does. Everybody's seen that meme 1,000 times.
Oh my god, yeah, with him in front of the porch.
Right.
The hair is great.
I don't know. I'm going to tell what I thought this movie was, and then I want you to say what you thought this movie was before
watching it.
Okay.
Man,
I thought it was going to be somewhat of a kind of what it showed, right, where it was a black dude taking in a white girl and chaining her up and like making her not a sex slave,
like a
but
horror
like,
movie, essentially.
not a horror movie, but like because some random
sketch vibes.
circumstance,
Yeah.
Mr. Samuel L. Jackson happens to have a white woman chained up out of his house. I don't know why, and I don't know where that went, but my brain was literally, hey, what's going to happen? And this movie's 2 hours long. How are they going to fill the time with a white woman chained up to this guy's house?
It actually doesn't. It didn't feel like it was that long when I was watching it. Maybe to you guys, but
Oh,
I
certainly
had
did.
seen it before, so
It certainly did.
It felt a lot longer than 2 hours. Sorry, an hour 55.
Yeah. I had no idea what the movie was about. No, I just knew that like the funny memes of like Samuel L. Jackson snapping around.
I think that it's funny that meme is so popular, but probably most people have not seen where it came from.
I knew it was from this, but I had I'd never
actually seen it.
Yeah, with all of the options, no offense, I'm not landing on Black Snake Moan.
No. And the other thing too is like, I was not expecting so much titty in this movie.
Are those hers? I wanted to ask, are those hers?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So I was not
They're
also
nice,
expecting.
I actually said that while I was watching it. I said it to Carrick. I was like, she has nice
breasts.
boobs.
So I feel like she had a reduction, and this is afterwards.
It was quick, like a minute 38.
I don't know.
Boob.
I don't know.
A minute 38, bro. It was like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I was just like,
I was not expecting
You got
Justin Timberlake
it was
just
side.
railing
At first,
her.
it was side. You got side like instantly, and then
Oh,
you
but
got
you saw.
nipple. There it
I
is.
was gonna say it was all in it.
Sometimes side boob
Is the best
more
boob.
exciting.
Yeah, because you get the
Like,
whole.
whoa, I don't know.
And then the tattoo too that they just had to put on her boob. Like
That's actually.
is that her tattoo?
Yeah.
I knew the.
So that goes with the whole mystique of that character, though, too.
Yeah.
So it kind of works. Right
boob.
Right boob.
Yeah.
We would know.
It looks left.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Stage left.
My left looking at it, her right boob.
The scene in which that young boy walks in and she just rips her clothes off and just goes at it
Yeah.
made me question what I was watching entirely. I'm not quite sure what this movie's goal is or what it's trying to tell me. This is where you take it because you picked it.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Listen, one of the reasons I picked this movie is because I've seen this movie a couple times. There is something about this movie that, at least back then,
Okay.
maybe not when it initially came out, but at some point closer to when it came out, like years ago, there was something about that movie that kept me going back, and I couldn't really put my finger on it. And I don't know what
Justin
it is.
Timberlake?
It's not. He's barely in it.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
to be honest, maybe a total of like 15 minutes he's in the movie. When you add it all
Start
up?
and the end, yeah.
Yeah, and he doesn't. I don't get his character either.
There was something about this movie that I think that's why. I think because you can't quite put your finger on why this movie exists. Like,
I think I can figure it out.
Where he was going originally when he went, this is my idea. Hear me out. This girl
For some reason,
has issues, and the only thing that will make her feel better is a dick inside of her.
Yes.
She cannot help herself.
She can't.
She has this weird form of anxiety.
that she just needs
And
the D.
her version of a weighted blanket is
A person.
on or in or around her person. And then you've got Justin Timberlake, who has actual anxiety.
The worst.
Who's having panic attacks.
Right.
Like, and
See, this-
so it's just, and then you have Sam, who seems normal, aside from the fact that his wife fucked up his life and left him for his brother.
Correct.
Younger brother.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not only that, but
was
then
a
finds
twist.
out later. Then you find out later when he's telling his story while he's singing to her that they had a baby that she, without speaking to him,
Yeah.
went and took care of.
Right.
Like, I mean, he's gone through it
Yeah.
and chose to take on this like confusing.
Well, he didn't
Problem.
choose. He didn't
Oh, he
choose.
chose.
Well, hold on. I mean, you come across, and he said it very plainly to the preacher guy that shows up, right? Like, you take in a beaten white woman off the
Oh
street.
yeah, you don't call.
You're not calling the police if you're a black man.
What I mean is, he could have fixed her up, and then
What time?
when she stood up and said, "I'm fine now. I'm standing. I can leave."
This seemed like the time of the movie that when it
Yeah,
was made.
I don't think
Like
it's meant
early
to be.
2000s.
I don't think it's
Yeah.
meant to be older.
Right. There wasn't anything that really dated anything besides nobody had a cell phone.
It's just like a podunk town.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, based on what they were wearing and stuff, it seemed
Right.
right.
Yeah. I don't think so. You know, anyways, before the reels do completely fall off, I just want to make sure everyone goes and checks us out on our social media pages, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or X now because Elon Musk decided at The Decision Reel. You can like us, give us comments on whatever you want to see us review next. You can also, like I said, get on YouTube and subscribe to us.
That's a
Hit that bell button thing for good, whatever. And you can go to our website, which is www.thedecisionreel.com. Over there, you can find some merch if you want to support us. Buy a T-shirt, buy a hat, buy a cup, buy some stickers, something. That's all I got.
good stuff.
The plot of this movie. Let me read it, since we're already there. A God-fearing bluesman takes to a wild young woman who, as a victim of childhood sexual abuse, looks everywhere for love, never quite finding it.
I
think
feel
love
like
is-
that's a
Love
really,
it- well,
really
okay.
limited
Physical love.
Everywhere for
summary.
dick,
Like,
never quite finding the right one.
but she did.
But did
She found love. She found love. She made that very clear multiple times that he's the only one that like she loves.
Sure.
But when he's not there, she like has these, we'll call them panic attacks. I don't really know what they are. Fits. That's what they call them in the movie, right?
Vagina
Fits.
attacks or so, yeah.
When I have these,
So again,
Urges.
what I didn't understand was that not that I understood, but the timeline was really fast because it was only a week, right?
Well, that's what, me too. I was
So-
very confused. How long was Justin Timberlake gone for?
A week.
it's like a week.
Yeah.
So he was churned and burned that quick from the establishment of
Yeah, so-
the army. Or
yeah,
Well,
so-
wherever he
when
went.
you show anxiety, I mean,
It clearly couldn't fire a weapon.
Well, no, he said
so-
he could, and then it was like when he finally had to like go up against.
yeah, when it was target practice, he was fine. But when he was out and there was other things going
Right.
on, not.
Not happening.
Bleh.
But like so that no, it's so crazy to me.
Yeah.
So like so right away when he leaves, she's having the old dick attack
Like same day.
in the yard.
2 hours later.
Yeah, and she's like meeting Tyrone
Yeah.
that same day. And then she goes to a party that night.
I guess.
Is that what? And then the other guy, the guy essentially.
I assume it was the same night.
Yeah, that one guy essentially rapes her
out in the field.
Because
as they're playing,
because she's not aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Also, who does that? But I guess that's the whole point of the movie. I don't know. I wouldn't be like, hey, we're having a good time. Oh, let's just have sex right here in front of everybody.
They would tackle you while I'm down here.
And that's good that you wouldn't. Well, sadly, there are people that
I know. The one question I have is, what did what did she say to the guy in the truck when he punched her in the face?
She said when he unzipped his pants, she said, you ain't got half of what Tyrone's got.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. I was
and
like,
he said, what? And she went, not half.
Yeah.
And laughed.
Which she shouldn't be. I mean.
No, clearly he's got some issues too. Like he clearly was hurt.
Well, so also.
Well, he never gets picked.
By her. If you hear later.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you sure?
Had been.
He's been with her.
Right, because I know where everything is in your house.
Yeah.
Right? But that also doesn't mean that he has been.
Also, fucked
friends.
up that he reveals that just because he's in his own fucking shit. How many times were you with her that you didn't tell your best friend that his woman was fucking you?
But it's not her. It's her anxiety.
Justin Timberlake's the only one that, and Samuel L. Jackson. Them, but like all those other guys, they don't give a shit what the reasoning is, though. You know what I mean? So his friend doesn't care. He didn't make any excuses. He just said she's a slut.
Right.
She's been running around you forever. But why choose that moment to say that? Well, if you were the friend, why didn't you say, hey, she came on to me?
That was like a friend moment where it's like, hey, bro, like we don't know how else to do this. I'm gonna be a 100% mean right now.
Right.
And men do that. Like,
would you fuck the friend first? I mean, like, why did you fuck her at all? You just let it happen. True. It's one thing to not have done it himself and said, look, I need to just tell you straight up.
Right.
We know she's fucking everyone in town.
Yeah.
But he too did it himself, and which he didn't know at the time, had tried to do it while she was fucked up and then beat the living shit out of her and knocked her out of his truck.
Left her for dead, essentially.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. When he's having this conversation with her, he has no idea like what happened to her.
Right. And you could say, too, like Justin Timberlake did know that she was like that before because he even says, since we've been together, she's been faithful. And that's when he's like,
but also says that he's the only one who knows what she had been through. He's like, you have no idea. You don't know, like,
and so they still
what she had gone through.
And they really weren't transparent. So I guess that was her wife's, or his wife's.
Yeah, her mom's boyfriend or stepdad or her stepdad.
Abusing her, like sexually
and she just
her.
met and let it happen. Kind of thing.
And she was like, you were in the next room. That was like, whoa, it's getting heavy.
And how she was like, what are you talking about? She's like, really?
Beats the shit over with a mop.
What a boss.
But just once. You know what I mean?
Then she throws bread.
She could have kept beating her with it.
I was like, shit, remember with the thing. I was like, don't throw bread at her.
What's the bread going to do? Like, if anything, you just wrecked that bread. It's mushed now. Good job. Just like,
you got to pay for that now, Mom.
Mushy bread. Yeah, they just left.
Yeah,
picked her up and
we're
left.
out of here.
I did like how Samuel L. Jackson, the woman character, though, he was like kind of flirting with the whole time, sees that and was like, oh, this is your niece or whatever.
Right.
And then
still helps though.
Right. That's a good quality character, person right there. Because you don't know what somebody's going through or what's happening. You know what I mean? So cool.
Listen, the movie is an oddball. But that's one of the reasons it was on my list. Because I was like, I guarantee you most people have not seen the movie.
Right.
If they've even heard of the movie. Like I said, most people probably don't even know where that Samuel L. Jackson, thing comes from.
It's just Samuel Jackson.
One of the reasons I also picked it is because I think there's a lot of good stuff in the movie, even though it's all just kind of like in there.
I did appreciate like Samuel L. Jackson's character reveal. And that like he was in the blues, which I like blues. I think it's pretty fucking cool because you're just telling your story. Like you're just
Black Snake Moan is the name of a blues song.
Right.
It's like where
I put that together.
Yeah. Okay.
What a guy.
Just making sure.
He's smart.
Context clue.
Yeah.
Well, like, when he's like singing like, and then he gets back into the bar and like, because you're like, oh, this place used to be jumping. He's like, I don't do that no more.
Right.
And then he breaks out, the guitar and gets back into it. Like that was pretty cool.
I agree.
It was like character growth with both of them.
Yeah, because he was hurt too. Like he was healing and growing, trying to get over small
And I
town.
think it almost kind of had to take him seeing someone else who was like going through something they also couldn't control anything for him to be like, okay,
right,
I could be worse.
So was he?
And
was he struggling with his faith? Because I know he was like a God-fearing man, but was he also struggling with his faith because of this whole wife situation?
Well,
Because
it
like his
seems
friend
like
was
it-
the pastor.
They did, the friend pastor and even the woman said, I didn't see you in church.
Right.
So I think maybe he had
Like,
stopped
yeah, like-
for a bit while he was going through his own. When he ran over her rose garden,
That was funny.
rose garden
Yeah, that was good.
with the tractor.
That was good.
Oh,
What's great is
awesome.
later in the movie, it's like he just walks outside and it's still all just fucked up.
The
Like,
tractor's
it's
just
it's
still like sitting in
leaning-
it. Yeah.
Like the fence is all broken. I love that.
Again, is this a great movie? No. Like you said, are there some good parts? Are there good characters in it? Yes. Will I ever watch this again? No,
Probably not.
No, probably
That's
not. But
fine.
also, when you're describing, like the guy said, hey, I got this idea for a movie, wouldn't that just be the perfect porn movie? Black Snake Moan. It's about a girl who can't, she has this anxiety and she's got to get the dick all the time. Like, to me, that's the perfect porno plot.
Sure. You
Even,
could.
like you said,
It
even
probably
the name.
exists somewhere. Did you look?
They probably,
Gotta be a parody.
yeah, I'm not going to look right now because I'm afraid of what will come up. But probably.
I mean, it had softcore in it for you
80
already.
Yeah, I guess you're right. 80%, yeah, it's probably made. Where to watch this one that's not the porno. There's if you have a subscription to Amazon, MGM Plus, and Paramount Plus. Never heard of MGM Plus before until I hit play on Amazon today and it came up and said MGM brought to you by MGM Plus or something. Who's paying for that?
MGM Plus?
Yeah. I bet you they have 10 subscribers.
I've never even heard of it.
Exactly.
What was the other one? There was another one we saw recently. We didn't.
AMC
Plus.
But that one makes sense because it's the TV
It is
channel.
but still. Like,
Yeah, I agree. I'm not watching.
do people watch AMC anymore? Isn't that like older shows and
Well,
older
like
movies
Walking Dead.
usually?
Oh, The Walking Dead and then
Oh,
The
yeah,
Walking
yeah,
Dead universe, right? Like, how many fucking shows they got now with that?
I stopped. After the tiger, I was like, I'm out of here. Like
There was a tiger?
Yeah, in Walking Dead. That's when I turned. I was like, I'm done.
Well, so that was in the comics, and it made sense in the comics. The way
Right.
they did it in the show, I was like, it's just here now.
Yeah,
Cool.
just
And then they
tiger.
did nothing with it. And then I think I checked out when they were like having like they were throwing zombies in a pit for you to fight. And like Rick, and one of these zombies had like a fucking metal
Oh, it had like
head.
a crown. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. I remember
and then
that
Rick's
episode.
like, "Oh, this is easy,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Come on, I'm done."
Never watched Walking Dead.
Yeah, there's. I mean,
The first season is amazing. Watch
It's-
it, then
no,
stop.
Yeah.
So there was an ex of mine. He was watching The Walking Dead, and I caught a part of it.
Mhm.
Immediately knew I couldn't watch the show because there were too many people in it that got on my nerves, including the kid. Like if I had to watch more
Carl!
than one episode with the kid in it,
Carl!
like there's no way
Yeah.
in hell. And then some of the acting was just not.
yeah.
I agree with that. The
It's
only
not in
thing
it
I
for
will
me.
say is,
I feel like you had to you had to like the premise to
Yeah.
get past those things, and zombies just aren't my.
It was. I didn't watch it until I don't even know. It was like at season 8 or
Oh,
something.
okay.
When I
Oh,
started
wow,
it.
that's
yeah.
like
so-
lately.
Well, because I hate that stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
that's-
like,
yeah,
I've never
yeah.
seen Game of Thrones. Like I refuse. Like
See, I
like,
like Game of Thrones.
I
but
just can't do it because it's like too much. Like if it's too, I got to be the rebel without a cause for no fucking reason.
hey man, do you? It
yeah,
took
yeah.
me. I had to
Like-
rewatch season 1 of Game of Thrones like 5 times to understand because they'll mention somebody in the first episode's name,
Right,
and then they'll say it 7 episodes later, and you're like, "Who the fuck is that?"
and it's a staple.
Right, and you
Like-
need to know what's going on. And yeah, it was so bad. Maybe not 7 times, but I had to watch it a couple.
All I know is I binged the shit out of The Walking Dead, and I was having a terrible zombie dreams. It's all I had was nothing but zombie
Isn't
dreams.
that?
Makes sense.
Yeah,
I
like,
was
it
just I was just talking about this today because even shows where I feel like I like don't even have a lot of seasons, but if you binge them, characters or like similar plots or whatever start ending up in my dreams because it just that's where my like
Yeah.
when the last
I
time
get it.
I rewatched or really the only time I rewatched
Friends.
Grey's Anatomy.
No, okay, sorry.
Huh?
No, no.
No, they've never been in my dreams. I know.
That's weird.
I
It's
know.
so
I think
Because
they're
I
just.
live-
so,
I
I think they're
live
just.
them.
comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's,
yeah.
I
it's
think
my
they're
delulu
comfortable,
land.
and I think they're just too familiar.
Yeah,
so
exactly,
it's like
yeah.
that's not abnormal for me. But like the first time,
Live it every day.
the only time I rewatched Grey's Anatomy, eventually there started like some of the characters would like just pop, not like
Okay.
big parts in my dreams, but just like oh, there's one right there, like
Sure,
walking
sure,
by
sure.
in my dream, or I'd be in a hospital or something. I just rewatched The Newsroom, which is an excellent show if you've never seen it.
With Jeff Daniels, right?
Yes. Excellent show if you haven't seen it. It's on Max because it was an HBO show.
Mix.
It's only 3 seasons, so it's easy to get through, but it's so good. But
He's a politician.
No, he's a news anchor.
Okay.
And they're trying to bring back the news for it to be real news instead of doing this person liked this on Twitter and stuff like that. But that over the last week, because I had been rewatching it, started just even last night popped into I was in a situation where it was we were talking about with journalists what's this story?
You're weird. Well, good for you. Anyways, what I was gonna say. I'm joking.
I commit to everything, so even in my dreams, the shows are following me.
I'm a method watcher.
Yeah,
I absorb it.
I am in it.
I'm making my own seasons in my brain. It's fine. And then when I watch the show, I'm like, wait, how come this isn't happening? Oh yeah, because it was in season 1 of my brain.
That's why I'm so emotionally invested in my characters, because they also live in my dreams. So.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure. That's
I
good.
have special relationships with them.
Fine. The one thing I did want to say about Walking Dead before we move on, just because I think this needs to be said, is I was a big fan of it because I was I was reading the comics way before it was ever mainstream. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden it's hey, they're making a show. And I was like, no way. It's going to suck. It's going to be so bad. That first season is really good. Mm-hmm. After the first season, they took the showrunner off and they took a lot of funding away from it. And that's when it became terrible. Mm-hmm. And if you watch the second season compared to the first season, they spent a lot of money on that first season. That second season, they were like, oh, I guess we got to be on this farm for the whole season because we can't go anywhere because we've got no fucking money. And it was bad.
Okay.
But that first season, it's worth a watch in Halloween time. When the Halloween spooky season comes up, just watch the whole first season, call it a day. That's it. Front to back. I know you
and then just know it never ends.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what got to me is after you're I think they got to the prison and you're oh yeah, they finally
and then
and then it's God damn it. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Spoilers for the first season of Walking Dead, but when they go to the CDC and the guy whispers to Rick something that's supposed to be this huge reveal and you're gonna find out about it in season 2. Yeah, they still haven't revealed it. And what are we in fucking season 25?
Oh, see, that's
because it didn't matter.
Just another reason. Right. No, it would still matter to me, and that's another reason why.
I'm saying they decided it didn't matter, and then just kept going on
that
because
would frustrate me so much.
Oh yeah, but that's why I just watched the first season. Literally, it ends on a good "it's over" kind of thing.
I cannot stand movies or shows where there's something that you just never find out.
Right, it's open ended because
that's what we're gonna make money on until
I will be sitting there through half the movie waiting for because movies have done it too, where there'll be a thing and you're okay, that's gonna come back later, obviously.
And then the movie's over, you're
and then you go through your head what are all the scenarios that it's gonna come back, and then it doesn't.
And you're waiting, and the credits are rolling. You're well, it has to be an after credits scene because this would make sense. And then
I have to get on the internet and see how many other people had the same thought as me, and see if anybody figured it the fuck out.
No. There's a show that was on Netflix. It's still on Netflix. It's a great show. It's called Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't watched it, watch it. It's really good. The problem, though, is the last season they wrote and they were about to film, and then COVID hit. And then they went,
they just never did it.
We don't know what to do. And then once everything got better, they went, well, we don't have the money for this anymore. So it's literally ends on a fucking cliffhanger for the next season. But it is a good show, and I'll say
I gotta know.
Yeah, I need. Well, so and
they
the
need
thing
to
is,
tell you then what they were gonna do.
Well, that's the thing is not yet because it's written. Yet. Well, no. I think they did actually. So there's another show
because COVID was a couple years ago now. They could tell us what.
So
it was.
Westworld. I don't know if you guys ever seen Westworld.
Yeah.
The first season.
I didn't finish it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
One of the best television shows I've ever seen in my life.
I loved it. Second season was okay.
It was okay. Third season, fourth season.
Who's in that?
Rachel.
Oh yeah, Evan Wood.
Rachel Evan Wood. The guy who played Cyclops in X-Men.
Oh, okay.
James Marsden. There's a whole bunch of people actually in it.
There's no one that I would consider an
huge
A-lister. I wouldn't consider them.
James Marsden.
A?
He's been in a lot of big things.
They wouldn't have put him in that show Jury Duty if he was an A-lister, because someone would have freaked the fuck out. Come on,
what was the guy who played the man? Fucking Ed. He's an A-lister. The main guy who was playing the Man in Black. Ed
O'Neill.
It's not Ed O'Neill.
Is that what you were gonna say?
Yeah. So Armageddon. You know the guy who's on the ground he's like the head of NASA, the bald guy. It's him.
What is his name? You're right though. He was also the coach in
Radio.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, thank
Ed.
you.
Damn.
He was in it. You're right.
Ed something. Anyways,
but there are also multiple people that you
I
would
can't wait to see that,
recognize.
by the way. That's gonna
Like
be
there's
cool.
multiple people that you've seen in other things that you may not know. They're
You're
like,
like, I
it's
don't
one
know
of
that
those
guy.
shows. Yeah.
Ed Harris. Oh my God, we're stupid.
Harris, my God.
And
But
fucking
it is.
Thandie Newton, she's huge. Fucking Tessa Thompson is now huge.
We missed the Hemsworth
Luke
brothers. in there.
Hemsworth. Anthony Hopkins is not A-list.
I forgot Anthony Hopkins.
Exactly.
to be honest
Aaron
with you.
Paul.
He is the list.
Aaron Paul was in one season. Well, no, two seasons. The last
He was
two
in the
seasons.
late, but the shitty ones.
Yeah,
don't watch
kinda,
those.
Yeah. Okay, so the whole thing
Watch
was
the two. You're fine.
it got more complex as it went on, and
Yeah, it was like they kept trying to like.
and they were spending
add
so
more.
much money, and it was made by Jonathan Nolan, so Christopher Nolan's brother. So the problem though
The other
was
Nolan.
right, they were spending so much money. HBO was spending so much money, and they weren't getting the return on viewers as the episode or the seasons kept going. That they had a 5-season plan for it. It was literally going to end on season 5, and HBO went, nah.
Season 4.
Right. So it's an open-ended show now because they wanted to end it in 5 seasons, and they have it all written down. Like,
Didn't do it.
so the showrunner, Lisa Joy, is the other one. Jonathan Nolan, Lisa Joy. She said, "Hey, I'm going to put out and tell you guys what happens." She hasn't yet, and it's been 2 years now.
Awesome.
I'm a little mad at that myself. Anyways, getting back to what we're supposed to be talking about here, the Black Snake Moan. This was written and directed by Craig Brewer. He's also done Hustle and Flow, the Footloose remake, and Coming to America 2.
Man, Hustle and Flow's a good one.
And that was right before
This was
that.
after this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this was after that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah. Which
After Hustle and Flow.
I haven't seen Hustle and Flow in a long time, but
Man,
it's
I'd-
definitely
I'll
hustling
get
and flowing a lot more than this movie.
I'll get you fired up. Hustle and Flow get you fired. Make you want to be a fucking pimp.
Right.
Make you want to deal some drugs.
Won't do anything. You shoot for the stars.
Push
This-
that shit out. I'm telling you, I love that movie. Because the white kid? What's his name? I can't remember. But like he's like the awkward white kid. And he makes
Jimmy
like,
Kennedy?
No.
Be
He makes-
red.
There you go. You got
He
it.
makes super good beats, and I was like, yeah, classic.
So I looked at a couple different websites for this, the rating of this movie. Okay. Rated R, obviously, but
Oh.
for strong sexual content, language, some violence, and drug use.
Yeah.
What is not mentioned in that?
Nudity? Man, that's
I looked at the back of DVD covers. I looked at every
think- is that-
website I could see. Nothing says this movie has nudity
And I
in
guess
it
you
in the
can't
rating.
just lump that into the sexual content.
No,
I mean, she's
because
in her
it's
underwear
normally
for the first like
Technically
30.
separate.
She's in her underwear for the first hour.
yeah.
That's not nudity.
Well,
That's a bathing
That's
suit.
sexual content.
That's a bathing
Well,
suit.
okay, hold on. That's not sexual content because it depends on how you're looking at it.
Yeah, she's just walking around in it.
In her underwear. Is that sexual content?
chained.
Chained to a radiator?
I mean, she fornicates with that chain
I
around
love that
her.
he puts the gold chain around her waist at the. I actually really
Yeah,
liked
I like
that.
that. Yeah.
I
And then
really-
she
and
so
she even
to me
uses it.
That was
yeah.
a thing for me at the end. I was like, oh, she's fighting her demons.
Yeah,
Right.
the
Chain.
crowd are
Well,
chained.
so I
Meanwhile,
thought-
he's over here. Oh,
yeah.
the drugs scare me.
So I thought that was the whole point of the movie
like I
was
said, it's clearly
she
extreme
yeah,
anxiety.
she used that to get over her
Right.
problems, and
Mm-hmm.
she got through it, and then helped him try to start his
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Getting
She's
through
gonna be
problems.
his Sam.
Right.
The first thing I thought though is as they were like they just got married and she's probably like looking over like that. You're the biggest pussy
Right.
Oh my
Like-
god.
for
and,
real.
and I have the biggest, but this guy, like,
Yeah.
Guys can have emotional issues.
I have
too.
anxiety. I have these things. That's
Not-
fine.
His is crippling.
Crippling,
His is
but
bad.
yeah.
Like,
if he can't drive on the freeway,
Yeah,
because
hey,
there's a
go
car-
faster.
right? Just just push it
number
down.
one, you see a long truck and you slow down, we got problems.
Yeah.
You need to be up in front of that sucker.
Well,
and then the
because if that gets in front of me,
death.
Final
Have we
destination.
never
Final destination.
Yeah,
Like,
clearly we
come
haven't.
on.
They didn't have that in the
Two.
park apparently. But but not safe. And then two, where'd the other guy come from? He just could have just gotten behind the other truck.
so I don't know
yeah,
why.
why did he
Hold
pull
on.
up and honk at him?
I
How
don't know
fast
why.
were they going?
My brain went to
They're in
okay
the slow lane.
Yeah, they're in the slow lane.
Like,
In the Caprice, the
Yeah.
4-door Caprice.
with the
on,
dubs.
on the dubs.
Yeah.
That is not his. That
Right.
cannot be his. That's got to be someone else.
So I thought this movie changed for a second, and maybe he was faking this like anxiety, and he was like another rival gang was out to get him because the way that those trucks boxed him in, I was like, oh shit, something's gonna happen. And then he just went, oh my God. And I went, oh God damn it, I'm done with this movie. Maybe my brain just wanted a different movie, probably. I was like, it was like Fast and Furious, but with Justin Timberlake. Oh, could you imagine? Why hasn't he been in a Fast and Furious movie yet?
They're stupid.
And this isn't? What? Oh my God.
A little bit
Starring.
more. Better acting in this still than the Fast and Furious movies.
I don't know. The first one was pretty
First
decent.
one is and even Tokyo
The
Drift.
only
Tokyo
one.
Drift's pretty bad. Pretty good.
But
Too
the
Fast and
acting
Furious?
is still not.
The first
there.
movie is pretty good. There's maybe
Listen,
two performances that are bad.
The movie as a whole, sure, but I'm saying the acting, like Paul Walker, R.I.P. Like I liked Paul Walker, but
Didn't even have your car.
He's not like serving any like big like.
You're right. You're right.
I mean, he's serving Cali.
Jesus.
But like honestly, your issues with his crippling anxiety aside, he played it well. Like he's got tears in his eyes. I thought he did a good job.
He did a better job
at
here
what he was playing
than he did in Alpha Dog.
I don't agree with that. I really liked him in Alpha Dog.
I felt like he was just being Justin
I thought he
Timberlake.
was the best part of Alpha Dog and the kid.
The kid was great.
I liked him in that movie Time. Whatever.
In Time.
In Time.
Where they get the time.
Oh yeah,
on
with
there.
Amanda Seyfried.
Yeah. That
Like
was
her-
okay.
She has a weird but pleasant face.
Her eyes are big.
She also sings too, and it's very like she sings in Mamma Mia, but I've heard her sing like outside of that too. And
you
want
to talk about a fucked up movie?
She was in Les Mis too.
Mamma Mia. Think about that for a second.
Never
The
seen
plot
that.
of Mamma. Okay, it was a play, was it not? A musical.
It was like a
On
Greek
Broadway.
Italian family. What is this?
No, this
No.
is about a
They're
woman
American. They are in Greece.
who has a
Oh.
daughter who is full grown,
18.
18, and she doesn't know who her dad is.
Mhm.
So they need to figure out, what is it, 4 different guys?
Three.
Sure. 3 or
'Cause her
4
mom had a
different
fun
guys.
summer.
She needs to figure out which one is the dad.
So she invites all 3 of them to her wedding. Her mom hasn't spoken to any of them since that summer. But so she finds her mom's journal and finds these 3 guys, and so she just up and secretly invites them to her wedding, and they all 3 show up.
The daughter's wedding.
Yes.
Yeah,
This was a Broadway musical.
because she's
before
like,
it
I
was a
want my
movie.
dad.
Mamma Mia.
She's like,
Exactly.
I want to
Mamma
know
Mia.
and then
Mamma Mia.
it's all
Yeah.
ABBA songs,
Right.
is what
Right.
it's based off of. So like, and then they made Mamma Mia 2, which was obviously not on Broadway. That's its own
We
thing.
still don't know who the dad is.
No, it's about
We picked the wrong fucking
it's
one.
about her summer. It's the mom.
So
it
she
goes
fucks.
backwards, and it's
Oh, so
her
you can see
meeting
the-
those guys like back
See
then.
the
Which the second
debauchery.
one was good too, because you also got some different.
these could
songs.
also
You
be-
got some different ABBA songs.
These could also be a porno too. Mamma Mia.
I'm sure.
We don't know.
Probably are. Everything is probably made.
Never been dubbed.
But back to Justin Timberlake.
Mhm.
In
That guy.
Time is also good. But there have been a lot of serious movies that he was in that I thought he did. That was the one I just texted you about recently. I think it's 2 years. Palmer, the movie Palmer.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
heard
yeah,
of this
yeah.
movie?
No.
He did so
like
good
it.
in that movie. It was an Apple TV. It was an Apple Plus.
Swing and a mish.
It was an Apple Plus movie, but it was
Oh, we need a good an actual golf tee like
Swing.
Yeah.
But it's a it's an emotional, dramatic movie. It's not a fast pace. It's a feelings movie.
What is this one again?
Palmer.
Paul-
Palmer. It's
thinking-
called Palmer.
Arnold
But
Palmer.
it's really good, and he did.
Is
a
it
good job
actually
in
about
it.
Arnold Palmer?
No,
Oh,
no. His name is Palmer in the movie.
Arnold Palmer.
His last name is Palmer.
But his first name is Arnold.
No,
His first name is Jake.
I actually don't remember his first name because they all just call him Palmer.
Palmer. That makes
Justin Palmer, obviously. Anyway, starring
Whatever.
Samuel L. Jackson
I'm not
as
appreciating.
Lazarus
I
Red.
did like Laz. I like how they call him Laz.
Yeah, that was cool. That was
Kind of cool.
And then if you notice on his guitar, there's an L on it and stuff. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Lazarus.
Christina Ricci as Ray.
Biblical,
Dool.
by the way. Biblical.
That's pretty biblical.
Ray.
Justin
yeah,
Timberlake as Ronnie
Ray.
Morgan.
My middle name.
John Cothran Jr. as R.L. S. Apitha Merkerson as Angela.
I liked her.
David Banner as...
That was David Banner.
Is that Tyrone? Because that's spelled Tehronne.
So
Tyrone?
she called him Tyrone, but
Tyrone.
Sam
Tyrone.
Jackson called him Tehran at
Yeah.
one point.
Either
So
or,
I don't
guess.
actually know.
Maybe that is the point of the movie. She doesn't even know his name.
The other guy called him Tyrone too.
He doesn't know her
He
name.
was also called Roan at one point.
Right.
So who the?
I don't know. We also got Kim Richards as Sandy Doyle.
He said, "You want some weed, man?"
I got some weed. No,
Oh, I actually kind of liked when he went to him though, because he was like, if this is the guy that beat her, like, no, because he's like, I know him, like,
right, yeah,
not okay. But I like that even him, who clearly just uses her for sex, was like, if you've got a problem with her, and it's like, okay, well, hang on,
Yeah.
like,
Well, no, but he was like, if you want to run that, he goes, it is not mine.
Albeit,
yeah, up
like-
to you. But then as soon as he was like, if you're gonna get aggressive,
Right.
like, no, we're not about that. So then he was like, okay, so not probably not him that beat
we
her.
run a tight ship here.
Yeah,
You know, fuck them all you want, but don't lay a hand on
don't
them.
damage the goods.
Right, yeah. The goods need to be good for the next guy.
Yeah, it was funny. Like that was like some gangster, like OG gangster shit when he was like,
Yeah.
I don't call you a hoe.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
don't call me this.
Yeah.
And he's like, how much money you need? Hoe. I was like, oh God.
Yeah,
She
that
was
was
like, what'd you
fun.
call
What'd you
me?
call me?
I was like, this is so good.
We got 2 girls too. One's real nice. One's pregnant, so you can't have that. But I laughed a little bit at that. That was
Funny.
runtime on this guy. It is too long.
I agree that I've seen it before, so to me it did not feel
Yeah,
that long
obviously
because
this-
I knew what was coming. I knew how the flow of it was, but
Yeah, I watched Oppenheimer again last night.
so
That went
long.
by way quicker.
But because it's like,
Mhm.
and did you focus on the music this time? Like I
Yes.
said on the thing,
Yes.
I've never seen a movie that does that, where you hear that kind of fast
I haven't
paced
seen it
music
yet. I
almost the
gotta
whole
watch
time
it.
behind.
We're
it.
not going to spoil anything for you besides this. It's such a breakneck speed for a movie that's 3 hours long.
Really?
It's almost like you can't keep up with it.
Damn, I gotta see that.
It's
Yeah.
worth watching. It really is. And we made a joke that you could watch it in 2 pieces, but I would suggest you do not.
Right.
Like, don't take a break in the middle. Watch it. at
There's
one
a
time.
very good point where you could stop
well. That's
and then pick up like it's
it has 2
TV
feels.
show.
There is a part in where it does feel like we're now in 2 different stories,
Okay.
but it works that way. Like it's.
but not really.
I
'cause it's
like that it
constant,
flows into
yeah.
it.
Yeah,
The only spoiler I've seen is when they did the 3, 2, 1, and then someone farts in
Yeah.
the movie theater. I was like, God, perfect.
yeah, because that's a Peter Griffin thing, right? Like, oh, the bomb's gonna go off. Here we go. I'm holding it on this whole time, and just what the fuck? Because it's silent for like 2 minutes.
Oh, is it really?
Oh man, yeah, and you're just hearing like people. You're hearing everything but the bomb, and it's kind of anxiety feeling.
It's like when you
Right.
went, like if you watched the movie A Quiet Place in theaters, but only for a very short period of time, where you were afraid to do anything that made
you're
sound.
hearing
like,
people
Right.
breathe. You're hearing like them rustling when they're moving. You're hearing like all these weird ticking and stuff, but you're not hearing what you should be, which is
the explosion.
the fucking and then you do.
Right.
Tell you what, I had it cranked a little bit last night.
And you're like, oh shit.
If you look upstairs, we got those things on the wall, the like candle holders. They moved, and they're still. I'm not telling my wife until she notices, but they're not straight anymore because that bomb went off.
Actually, I can't use. I have a nice sound bar and shit. With
Yeah.
I can't use it because it drives my dogs. And I haven't just like powered through to like make them get used to
Right.
it. Because like every time the bass hits, they go ape shit. And they think it's like a car door.
It's hard.
and,
It's
like-
hard to power through because
Yeah.
it is especially when they get loud. It gets like
Well, it's
okay,
like,
it's
and I'm
over
watching this,
censoring, like,
so like,
Right. Yeah.
like,
Like I'm not trying to. Not
my dogs
watch
don't
it.
have any issues with like loud or like sounds, but if a dog barks on the screen,
oh, it's game over.
it's done.
Well,
I
Puck
can't
does that.
watch any movies that I know are like the Megan Levy, where she's a dog trainer in the military.
Oh,
or
that would
whatever.
be terrible for them. Yeah.
I still haven't seen it. I've wanted to watch it. And I
Right.
still haven't because they're gonna have to be passed out one day. But then as soon as the dog
You
barks,
could just go to your parents' house and watch it.
No,
Or the home. You don't watch movies with your parents?
no.
Why not?
I mean, if I'm already there, I don't make a special trip to go do it. But
Well, you could for this movie. Mom, I gotta come watch this movie.
I cannot watch it at home.
Right.
She'd be like, "Oh my god, what is that?
Good.
Why can't you?"
Make the popcorn. I'm coming. Release date March
Black Snake
2nd,
Moan.
2007. It's older than I thought.
Yeah.
I thought this was like
I had no idea.
2010. No idea. Doesn't yeah. And it's like you said, it does nothing in the movie really paints the picture of when this is from or when
Right.
it was made. It could just be kind of anywhere from like
Especially her sweet shirt.
right in the South, and her just wearing nothing through this whole movie. I mean, good for her, but also
when she runs out the door, it's like, what did you think was gonna happen? You're attached to the fucking like.
Well, I like how they make it a big deal in the beginning about this heater, right? Like the wife even says, like, this goddamn heater keeps you warm, doesn't it? And
Yeah, she's like, I got sick in the house. And he's like, well, we were always warm.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
It's good heater.
It's how simple. It's how simple men are.
Yeah. And
Look,
but
we're warm.
there was the point where he was like holding it, and he was like, "Yeah, that ain't going nowhere."
Yeah.
I was like, all right.
He was like, okay.
Old trusty.
Yeah. Got to. All right. Box office that week. What was the top 10? And then when we get to top 3, we're gonna guess.
I already presume this is not even in the top 10.
Number 10. We're gonna find out. Breach. I should probably look these up. The ones that are
like number
on
9.
the cusp. Yeah. The ones that are on the
didn't
cusp.
say anything, so just like,
Breach in 2007.
Seven.
Chris Cooper and Ryan Phillippe. FBI upstart Eric O'Neill enters into a power game with his boss, Robert Hansen. Hansen?
Yeah.
An agent who was put on trial for selling secrets to the Soviet Union.
I know what this is now.
Nope, never seen it in my life.
I mean, I've probably only seen it once, but now I know what it is.
Number 9. I'm going to start making these where I can, like, slowly reveal things so you can look at it.
Yeah.
Number 9, Reno 911, the movie.
Miami?
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
That's a good one. Should be number 1.
it's been a while since I watched that show, but I'm glad that the main guy still is in shit because he's hilarious. But he's never had, like, anything main. You know what I mean? He's always just random.
The blonde
She's been in stuff.
has been in, I mean, she was in Bridesmaids and stuff, too. I mean, she's been in a lot of the comedy type of stuff. And what was the Goldbergs?
Goldberg
show? Isn't she the mom in that?
Yeah, he's in I Love You, Man.
Yep.
He's the
Yeah.
got up in there.
Kind of smoky. Yeah.
You should brush your teeth. Yeah, I have already, but I'll do it again.
Number 8, Black Snake Moan.
Oh, it did make top 10.
Look at you. Number 7,
Competing with Breach.
Music and Lyrics.
Drew Barrymore and Hugh Grant. Actually, that's a cute movie.
Rom-com.
Yeah, it's a cute movie too. He's like an ex musician. He was in like a boy band, tried to go solo, didn't work out. But he has to write a song for something, and she ends up being like the lady that has to come water his plants. She like takes it over for her friend who's out of town, and she like is like bopping along one day and is like making up words. And he's like,
yeah, I
so
remember seeing the music
him.
videos.
She wrote.
of
She
Hugh
was
Grant.
a writer,
Okay.
not a lyricist, but she kind of helps him write the song. But it's for a pop star, and it's actually really funny when they show it to the pop star because she wants to basically like Britney Spears, Shakira the shit out of it, where it doesn't sound like a cute song anymore, but it's like she's like gyrating to it and stuff instead. Like,
You know what's really weird about this movie? Music and Lyrics. Its budget was $40 million. It made in the U.S. and Canada, so North America, $50 million. Worldwide, it made $145 million. Why did the world want to see Hugh Grant? That's probably
I was
why.
about to just say that.
I take a dig.
He's English.
Yeah,
English.
it was probably. I mean, this wasn't really his prime. That wasn't really his prime.
No, 2007
but
definitely not.
Still Hugh Grant.
Number 6, talking about somebody also outside their prime, Norbit.
Eddie.
Eddie Murphy.
It was okay. Good parts. Quotable.
I didn't want to see it, and I still haven't, and I'm not going to.
I've seen it, but I would not
That's
watch it again.
Yeah,
like.
I don't like when actors do that. Like, hey, I had success dressing up in a fat suit, so let me just do it again with a different type of movie. You know, like, come on, guy.
I mean, because even in Coming to America, he did it. Both of them did. They were playing multiple parts in that movie.
Make Dr. Doolittle 4 or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like that's like an Eddie Murphy staple.
He did it in like three
characters.
or four movies at least where he was doing that. But at some point, it's like, okay, now you're just taking work away from other actors.
Exactly. I mean, Mike Myers did it.
Yeah.
I would love to see a Jim Carrey movie like that. Why haven't we not gotten that?
Do you think maybe it's because he puts too much into the one?
Probably.
I saw something that said we're getting a Grinch 2 just this week.
That's fake.
Is it? It's the first time I had seen it, but
he has said he's never playing that character again.
Right, he said it was terrible.
Yeah.
he was great though.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, as that, like, there's no one else I feel like that could have been the Grinch.
No, they try to reprise
He was
that
so
one.
animated about it.
The Grinch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That's it. I'm not going.
unless Cindy Lou Who's back in it too, I'm gonna be mad. So Taylor Momsen needs to be in it.
From The Pretty Reckless.
Yes.
Or from Gossip Girl.
But just looking like she does
now.
Right.
With all the black makeup and stuff.
That could be the movie.
I actually was just on my drive home from Annapolis after the Thanksgiving thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to The Pretty Reckless on the way home.
How did you get home?
1.
That's not bad.
No, we stopped at 11.
Oh, and you guys barely got another pack up, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't bad.
Hmm.
I went through a drive-through just because I barely ate at Thanksgiving, and that was all that I ate the whole day. So
McDonald's.
yeah, it was midnight. So
Other things
I
are
went to
open.
McDonald's.
I was gonna say Taco Bell, Wendy's,
There wasn't on my route.
Wendell.
Taco
Wawa.
Bell. Also, I don't really like eating Taco Bell in my car.
It's a mess.
Yeah.
You like the waffle stomp lettuce and cheese on the carpet.
Yeah, like I don't. But like I like to eat. I also
It's a mess.
like soft shell tacos, and when I get them at home, I almost like kind of roll it because they're just folded, and like I don't want that. I
So
want
this is
it
what
to
you
be
do.
more, like rolled.
You ever seen those things in which men get for shaving their beards in the bathroom for the mirrors, where it goes around your neck, and then you put the 2 magnets on the mirror, and it's like a
Yes.
giant bib.
Yeah.
So you do that
In the car.
but on the window. So while you're driving,
Makes sense.
whatever, and you're eating your tacos, and going everywhere.
That seems safe.
Yeah.
And then look, you just pinch it in the bottom, and look, that's a whole nother taco.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Didn't somebody make that? They put like a taco underneath like a plate in which you eat the taco over the plate,
That's how I eat my tacos personally at home.
just over another taco shell.
Just like, well, you load
empty,
it, but
yeah.
the last was just a giant fucking taco.
What was the movie or show where he was like, I order a, oh my God, a double cheese or whatever, and I take the burger or I take something off every time I get it, and by the end I'm gonna have, oh my
a whole
God,
nother burger. So if you ordered 2 Big Macs, you could have 4 sandwiches.
there was something he was doing where every time he was ordering it, he was like
Think about
saving
You could.
like
Or
a piece
one
of what
big
it
one.
was. And he was
One
like,
big
and he was like,
fucking
and at
monster.
some point I'm gonna have a whole box or something. Like he was like, I can't remember
Yeah.
what it was. Damn it.
What do you do with the middle bun, though?
Toss that.
Yeah. But that's the most diverse bun you can have. It's a double-sided bun.
Double-sided
If you
bun.
don't want the bun, get a double quarter pounder instead of a Big Mac.
No. But that's only 1 burger. We're talking about feeding a family
the
of 4
double quarter
with,
pounder,
with
you can-
2
it's-
burgers.
You can get it with 2.
Do you give someone the double middle?
Oh, fuck them up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or would it be like a sourdough, right? Because remember the sourdough looks like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the sourdough
There's
burger.
toast on both sides.
Right.
That actually is the superior bun.
Yeah,
You
it
know, you
is.
can also get Big Mac sauce on any of their burgers.
But it's not the same.
Okay.
It's not the same.
No.
We should get mac sauce on double cheese.
You ever used to make
yeah.
the McGangbang?
No, look, I'm a big fella, but I never.
Well, I'm not saying, hey, you probably did. I'm just saying.
I never got down with the.
Right.
never
That
got
used to
down
be
with
the thing, man. Back when, the dollar menu was the dollar menu.
Yeah, now.
Oh, my God. You get two McDoubles and then 2 McChickens and just pound it.
Pound it. We were big Pizza Hut buffet fans.
Oh, my God.
Do you remember that? Well, we went to
The one
Stone.
in Waldorf. Yeah.
Yeah, the one in Waldorf,
Yeah,
right?
we
What
used to
is
leave-
now
In front of the roller
Choo
skate.
nothing.
Choo. Or no, it turned into Choo. Oh, no, Choo Choo's was next door to it.
That's tropical smoothie now.
Yeah.
Who would have thought a strip club would turn into a smoothie joint?
And a Metro.
Right.
But we used to leave Stone at like 11 o'clock in the morning.
Nice.
And we would get fucking ripped on the way to Pizza Hut.
And
we
then
would-
rip Pizza Hut.
$7.99.
Yeah, dude, you can't beat that.
Just in there, just.
Yep. And
We
those people in
also-
the back are just like, these
Oh, yeah.
fucking.
We also,
Good for
because in Charles County, I mean, we grew up in Charles County too, so not just high school, but middle school, we also used to frequent that roller skating
Yeah, the roller
rink.
skating rink was it every Friday.
Yeah, almost every Friday. It would be, you go to the roller skating rink?
Every Friday.
Or
Did you?
First was
bingo.
hockey,
Or bingo because we went to St.
We would-
Peter's and they
and
would
we
do
would
bingo
work
on
it.
Fridays.
So you're talking about the roller skating rink behind that?
The behind the Pizza Hut.
So we used to leave the Capitol Clubhouse, the old, I don't know, how long have you been?
Mike's, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
where
where the
the-
old one is, behind the gymnastics area.
Like by the post office
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
So
Post
we used
Office
to-
Road, right?
Yeah, we used
Yeah.
to leave there in our gear, and like not in our gear, but like in our
Yeah,
pants,
sure.
and then go to like
The roller skating
roller
rink.
skating rink, win the races. Everyone was so mad. He's
Yeah.
a hockey guy.
Right. Bro, you know what's funny is probably going back and if that's obviously that's not there anymore, but seeing how small that rink was.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
Yeah, because I feel like it was like, and they also had, like the couple skates and the girls only skates and the boys only skates. Like, but we had, I think I had a birthday party
Oh,
there.
I'm sure. They used to have
Even-
a dope ass arcade too, like a legit.
They
like
had
legit
the
games.
old Ninja
Yes.
Turtle game and everything. Like I used to, yeah, and they had candy and snacks and
Hey, look, we did what we normally do. Number 5. This is why Jim Carrey came into
We still have a whole hour. It's fine.
the number 23.
Oh.
I don't. Which movie is that? Is
So
that where
that-
he's
that's-
the?
it's a scary-
his non-funny one.
Right. It's not a scary movie,
like a
but
thriller,
it's a
right?
suspenseful thriller. Yeah.
Is
He's
a,
got it like
Is he a psycho?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
he's
not
at least
really.
having some sort of mental breakdown.
Yeah.
Well, I think he did, and then he spoilers. He wrote a book,
Didn't remember.
and
he
then
wrote
didn't remember he wrote it. Put it in. The only weird thing for me for that movie is how he finds the book, because his wife literally goes, "Oh, look at this book. Maybe you should read
it.
this."
Although we did just spoil it.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Wait,
He ain't gonna watch it.
just saying.
I know Josh.
At least that's an honest review. Yeah.
Right.
Josh is gonna
Look-
watch what we tell him on the week of, and that's it.
Look, it's
That's what
that,
he'll
or like
watch.
every Friday I watch Grandma's Boy. Like I'm
Yeah.
pretty fucking routine. It's
I have a
bad. It's
routine.
embarrassing.
Called a Frankenstein.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I ain't having to choose. I'm just like, this is good.
Yeah.
I know it's good. I know I'm gonna giggle. Like,
That's why I keep watching shit
Yeah.
like Friends and New Girl and stuff instead of new shows.
hey, what is it? It's good for our anxiety. Because
It does say it says that because you know it's gonna happen. That you
that
don't.
makes perfect sense.
it's
of
comfortable.
why-
What I did, what
Yeah.
I did do is I did binge watch that new. There's like 2 new animes on Netflix.
Scott Pilgrim.
No, well, that's is that the anime?
I watched that.
I've been seeing the cartoon. Is that
It's kind of anime, yeah.
okay.
I watched the movie on Saturday, and I thought of you multiple times while I was watching it, just from like quotes you guys have just.
Hey, was it the first time you ever
said.
seen it?
No, but it was.
Okay.
I was looking for something to watch just while I was getting ready, and it was one of the first things that popped up on Netflix, and I was like, I haven't seen this in a few years. Let me just put that on.
Gotcha. That is me and my wife's favorite movie together.
it's
We have I'll say it every time, and I'm going to. We saw that was like one of the first movies we went and saw because it came out in 2010. We started dating in 2010. In the 10th anniversary, when it came out back into theaters, it was during COVID, so they didn't actually do it. So we had to wait one more year. So we actually went to the Hoffman and went and saw it again when it
When
released.
they finally did it.
And it was cool.
It still holds up after all this time.
Yeah,
dude,
it's a
it's
cool
entertaining.
movie.
There's not a movie like it.
Pretty-
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
No,
so
there's
like,
not. It's
I
great.
just love when Chris Evans just like shows up and it's like, look at Chris
Do you
Evans.
skate, bro? Do I skate? And he's like, got my own team or whatever. It's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. Could you do like a thing?
It's called a grind.
Yeah,
Can you do a
can you do a
grindy
thing on that?
thingy?
rail?
On that bar.
The stunt doubles too. Oh,
Mhm.
dude, it's so good. Anyways, number 4, Bridge to Terabithia. That is the space version of Jumanji, and if no one's ever seen it,
Space version.
it is.
But it's okay. It's not like they're spending the whole movie in space though.
Spoilers, yeah, kind of.
Is there a bridge?
At the end,
At the end, there is.
so they're playing a game just like Jumanji, but it's a space version instead of a jungle version.
Are you sure you're thinking about the right movie?
I am not. I'm thinking about Zathura.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an idiot.
So, yeah. Bridge to
What is Bridge
Terabithia
to-
is not that.
What is that one then?
They're actually in the woods for a good portion of the movie. It's a boy. and
I'm
a
thinking of
girl,
it
and
because Josh Hutcherson's in it
he
too.
is in it.
That's
yeah.
why. Yep.
What's her name? Is that Dakota?
Dakota Johnson? No.
Fanning. No, it's not Dakota Fanning.
I'm assuming that's her because they're old now.
She's been in
Anna
other
Sophia
stuff, but
Robb is Leslie Burke. I feel
I think it's a
stupid right
book.
now.
It's based off a book, but
It is.
if I remember correctly, I think the girl is dead,
I haven't seen it.
or she
I keep
Spoilers.
ends up
Yeah,
dead.
sorry.
I keep thinking of.
You guys are not. You didn't even know what it was.
Yeah,
You're not going to watch it.
You're right.
Top 3 that week in no particular order. Then you guys got to guess. Zodiac,
Jake Gyllenhaal?
Ghost Rider,
Oh god.
Wild Hogs.
What the
Wild
fuck?
Hogs #1. Let me
What
tell you
the
right now.
fuck is this? Okay.
Bro, you've never seen Wild Hogs before?
Wild Hogs.
It is a
My
great
dad
movie.
The most ridiculous.
Loves
When they're all
that movie.
when they're all fucking skinny dipping in that hot spring or whatever. Hilarious.
and perfect that Tim Allen's in it because my dad loves that movie and my dad is Tim Allen.
Yeah.
So like it's just I mean with his Harley that he
John
never
Travolta,
rides.
right? John Travolta.
John Travolta,
Tim
Matt,
Allen.
Martin Lawrence,
And then Kevin James?
no, it's the guy from Shameless.
Oh yeah.
Like the main.
William
Frank.
H. Macy.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I got a tat. And it's
Yeah.
the Macintosh. Like,
Leavenworth. He's like, oh, I got mine at the Galleria.
that was a funny movie.
It's stupid. It's so good.
You don't even know what male bonding is. You haven't even watched Wild Hogs. Sorry. What do you think? He's got the first pick. He's already in number 1. Wild Hogs.
Oh, Wild Hogs number 1. Ghost Rider shouldn't be on this list, and then Zodiac is number 2.
Okay.
I'm actually gonna keep it in the order that it's in. I'm gonna say Zodiac 3. Yeah, the order that you said it. I'm gonna say Zodiac 3, Ghost Rider 2, Wild Hogs 1.
So it is number 1, Wild Hogs.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 2, Zodiac. Number 3, Ghost Rider.
I didn't peak that much.
I thought the Nicolas Cage people were gonna.
No, just Ghost Rider is so terrible. Those are so terrible.
The problem was
in the
Ghost
top 3,
Rider.
though,
Ghost
so,
Rider
like,
was hyped
It was.
really
That's
big
yeah,
before
was
it came
big.
out, and then people saw it and went, "Oh,
Why? And then a second one came out, and everyone went, "Why?
Why again?"
And also Idris Elba is in the second one, and you're like, "Come on, guy, what are you doing?" But also he was in that other movie too that
He's also
bombed pretty
been in
bad.
a lot of things.
Yeah,
And some of them you're like, oh, and some you're like, why?
you're right. Hey, it's not his choice. It's his
I mean, I respect
agent's,
the hustle.
yeah.
Like, you do what you do.
And you know what? Sometimes you sign on to a movie
He
and
was
the
in Cats.
script is good, right? And you don't know what it's going to be, and then or you're contractually obligated to be in whatever, and you just have to do it.
I think a lot of the people that
Like probably Cats.
signed up for Cats probably knew, like, this isn't gonna be.
No, I don't
Like-
think so. I've heard.
You don't think they went into it being like, this is.
No, I heard
They're
James
huge.
Corden say that it was not supposed to look the way it looked.
Yeah,
It
like,
was
did
a
they mess
po-
it up, or
As
they
bad.
Well, they realized they bit off a lot more than they could chew,
yeah.
and they were way over budget, and
So
they
they couldn't
couldn't
afford
fix
it,
So it
right?
was
Yeah.
like they didn't expect it to look as animated as it did.
Correct,
or-
and they had to go with it. It was one of those like, oh, fuck.
I didn't hate it. My sis,
They should have made it
This is
all
funny.
CGI.
my
not
sister and I put off
motion
watching it
capture
for a
CGI.
long time.
Sure.
I decided to watch it with her, and by with her I mean she was at
You told me this story, yeah,
wherever,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I was home,
You
and we
hit
played
1,
it
2,
at the
3,
same time,
play.
and we were on. It's adorable, but we were on like speakerphone, just like watching
That's
it together
cute.
Good for
at
you
different
guys.
times, or we'd get off and we'd be texting during. But
Oh.
Taylor Swift was in it, so Emily was like, "I want to watch it just to," so I watched it. I will say, I don't feel the need to watch it again.
I'd never seen that.
I thought James Corden was actually the best part of the movie. He was funny. Like, he brought, like, some fun to it.
I know the music.
Taylor Swift was not. She moved great like a cat. She's very tall and lanky, but her song was weird and not a bad song, but
I
just
gotcha, I gotcha.
the actual in the movie, the way that they did it
Sure.
was weird.
Well,
like,
I've heard the music in it is really good, but the
the
problem
music
is,
is the
the
music's
problem
great.
is you're not staring at the music. You're
No,
staring
you're
at
watching
the cats
these
and going, why don't they have
human-looking
buttholes?
cats
Right.
dancing around.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. So.
Stupid.
Budget time. What do we think it costs to make Black Snake Moan?
Really,
I mean, other than
really,
Samuel,
$5 really.
other
There's
than
the
Samuel
stare.
Jackson's fat like money roll, I'm sure he made off this, but
This was also one of Justin Timberlake's first
Does he say motherfucker in this movie?
movies.
I don't think so.
He doesn't cuss a lot.
Well,
actually,
that's the point, right?
He
'Cause
says the
he's- yeah.
N word.
Justin Timberlake does.
Well, so does.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's allowed to.
Okay.
Samuel Jackson is allowed.
Well, okay.
Justin
but-
Timberlake, definitely not.
I
And
actually,
that made me go, whoa, bro.
before we get into this, I did want to say, like, there was a, I want to say it was at one of the film, like when the movie first was coming out, and it was at one of the festivals. Like, it wasn't in the theaters yet, Sundance or whatever the
Sure, yeah,
ones are.
always.
And there was an interview with
Cons,
the three of them.
Yep.
Justin, Christina, Samuel L. Jackson. And I actually really liked them talk, like they were asking them questions like, about each other, like working with, because it's a interesting like grouping of people.
Yeah.
And one of the things that they said about Justin was how professional he was. They were like, we didn't really know what to expect. He wasn't filming movies. He was
Right.
a pop star,
Right.
and he was so like on time every day. Knew his stuff. Like was always like
I feel like as a musician,
trying
you
to
would
be-
more.
you've
on,
been
you
in
have,
that life. Like
yeah,
you would
you
do
have
it.
to be on time.
And then they
show
also
starts at 7.
they said though that they were Christina said surprised, but was glad that he went with a movie like this for coming out of the gate instead of a like more being a more indie movie than like a big production, because at the time of his fame,
Okay.
he could have probably gotten even a small part in like a big
Sure.
thing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
he said no, I
Work my way
wanted
up.
to, I
Right.
wanted to do this. I wanted to do stuff like this, but
So if that's your thought, what do you think it
I
costs?
listen.
No,
I think
listen.
Justin was not an actor yet.
Yeah, he didn't demand a big.
So I imagine he got paid, but he wasn't getting paid like an actor would normally get paid.
I think he's getting paid for the name.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's getting paid for the name, but I think he even understood, like, this is not what I do. So I need to, and I'm making money elsewhere. So it is what it is.
Right.
But Sam probably did. She probably did. I'm going to say the budget was like 15, maybe.
Okay.
No.
Going 24.
24. I guess 20. Getting back to this whole thing about Tara cheating, the budget was 15 million.
What?
Exactly?
This has been happening too much.
It has not been.
It happened the last time I was on here.
Oh, but the last time I was here, I was extremely wrong. Oh, no, last time, you and I were both, like, on it last week. We were, like, right.
Maybe we're getting good at this. I don't know. Who knows?
I've been, like,
I have been on it for a long time, guys.
I've been trying to, like, learn. I'm like, I don't know how much does it cost to make a movie?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
It's blowing up.
I think you got to look at
Is a
two
crisis
things: is
happening?
who's in it, number
Right.
one, who the director is.
Yeah, that's
And
what. That's,
then-
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know other than like the big ones.
Sure.
You know what I mean, I'm not a real like.
Well, and that
learning.
would be a big thing, right? Like
Right.
if you hear a name that you recognize, oh well, the
Like
budget.
Judd
probably-
Apatow.
Yeah,
Like,
the
whoa.
budget is probably going up a little bit. And then
Gotta be
also, if there's special effects in the movie and
Right.
how many locations are in the
Yeah,
movie,
this was
right?
like they didn't leave the same road.
Yeah, exactly. Right. They found a place and went, "This is it."
Yeah, this is it. This looks pretty good.
Right. Why do you think Trailer Park Boys is so easy to film? It's in a trailer
in a
park.
trailer park, yeah.
They ain't going nowhere.
They literally rent it.
I think they own it now.
Probably.
Yeah.
Like Sunnyvale. That's where
Right.
they all live full time. Actually.
Probably. Good for them. All right. What do we think it made in this box office run? Overall.
50.
50 million.
Well, that's a lot.
It's aggressive.
Well, in comparison to other movies, it doesn't
Right.
feel like a lot.
True.
Like, the 50 doesn't feel like a lot. I'm being generous, but I
was gonna
don't.
say, yeah, like 30.
I was going to say what you feel, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
30.
30.
Yeah, that seems high.
I don't know. I guess 55 as well.
Oh wow.
Opening weekend, again, it opened in number 8. It made $4.1 million opening weekend at number 8, top 10. To me, that seems, a little low.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, it made 10.9.
Oof. Oof.
So
Big
it literally,
Way less.
How about
than
internationally?
that's
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 world. That's
global box
everything.
office.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's that,
Oof. I double checked that.
which is, like I said, I don't know. I haven't talked about this movie with a lot of people. Like, I don't think a lot of people have seen it. That's why I thought it
It's
wasn't
always
even,
been on my radar.
That's
like,
why
I've
I thought it
known
wasn't
about
even going to be in the top 10. Because, like,
Well, when you said indie, that's when it really clicked. I was like, this is like a low budget
yeah, it's
indie
not,
film. I never
yeah.
even thought of it
It's
like that because
not-
I just thought, when you think of something that makes it, you're not thinking of it
Yeah, I
that
got
way.
you. Yeah, I got
because
you.
we would know what indie films are. We watch them. And,
Well, how many indie films is Samuel L. Jackson in? Let's be real.
that's
Right.
why I was like, yeah, a big name.
And if he's in one, he's saying motherfucker every other word. Like, come on. Pulp Fiction would have been an indie film at the time. Anyways,
That was one of the other things she said. She was excited. When she was younger, Pulp Fiction was one of the things that made her want to get into. I mean, she was already acting when she was really young, but she said she loved it, and she said she wanted to be Samuel L. Jackson.
right, okay.
like that's what she aimed for. She wanted to be Samuel L. Jackson.
well,
after
I
watching
mean,
Pulp
she was in a
Fiction.
movie with him, so
Yeah.
that works. I'm going to say this again. Yellow Jackets. You need to
Yeah, I
watch
haven't done
that.
yet. It's on Showtime.
I
Yeah,
liked her
Showtime,
in
yeah.
Wednesday too. I thought she did. She was.
She's
good in Wednesday.
somewhat the same kind of
Vibe.
but
Not
a little,
not in the end. You mean like the type of person she was through most of the show?
yeah,
'Cause in the
kind of
end,
kooky,
she-
kind of whatever.
Yeah, quirky. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yep.
She does really well in the show, and like it's there's no like it's hard to say there's like a central villain or there's like a central there's like definitely a central person about the show, but she's in it a lot because it's having to do with all these people who crashed in a plane, but then it's fast forwarding in the present, then going back to the past, and just the way it works, it's very well done.
What is it on again?
It's on Showtime, but I think you can get it on.
It's on Amazon too.
I think I think it's on Paramount Plus now.
I just cannot.
Yeah.
Cannot.
I think if you're on Paramount Plus, you have
streaming
Showtime.
thing.
Or yeah, I don't know. Whatever. Just fucking put your pirate hat on. Bring over a USB stick, and I'll give you because I got everything. Let's be real.
Plug over here.
Look, if I can figure out to get my Plex working again better for people, I'll give everybody my Plex again. TV and movie trivia time. I still got to get a a little like TV imagery time. No, Jesus.
Katerina and Bianca Stratford are characters in which film?
Katerina and Bianca Stratford.
I think I'm upset that I know the answer to this. Like I don't think you know
I feel like the one name alone should have been is a giveaway if you've seen the movie.
Like well, I might be wrong.
Oh,
It's not a comedy movie. It's Legally Blonde.
it's not Legally Blonde, but
It's not Bring It. I was gonna say Bring It On, but it's not.
Oh,
Bring It On.
no, it's neither of those.
I was thinking
Katerina.
like
it's
White
actually
Chicks.
No,
older.
Bianca-
It's older than those.
Bianca D'Souza. What?
You just hold on.
White
it's gonna
Chicks.
No,
That's
it's
why
along those lines.
Bianca is the one that should
What the
trigger
fuck is the
you.
name of that movie? Hot Chick.
No,
No.
Oh, but Bianca's the name
it's
of the.
older.
Older than the Hot Chick. It's older than Bring It On.
Mm-hmm.
So it's
I
like
believe so.
it's like
I believe
90s.
so.
It's a 90s movie.
Mm-hmm.
Clueless. No.
Not gonna
I'm
get
not
it.
gonna get him now.
It's 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, that's a good
Her sister was Bianca. She was Kat,
Yeah, she
not
was Kat.
Katerina. I mean, her name was Katerina. Her dad
one.
used
See,
it, but
Cat,
Heath Ledger. Yeah.
Oh, I know. I've seen that movie a lot. I
Uh,
like that movie.
But what's her face from Bring It On was in that.
Yes.
Oh my God, why am I blanking on her name?
Alicia Dushku? No.
No. She was in Bad Boys 2. She was in Deliver Us from Eva. She was in.
Eva Mendes?
Bad Boys too.
Oh my God, she's married to Dwayne.
Dwayne The
Wade.
Rock Johnson. Oh.
Oh.
Why am I blanking on her name right now? I love her.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, you know who I'm talking about, but she's in it. Because she's
do,
so
do,
young
do,
in it.
Let's see
She's
Bad Boys.
Stupid doobie doo doo.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt. Because he's
Joseph
the one.
Gordon. Love it.
He's the one trying to
Love it.
get. He's the one trying to get Bianca to like him. The sister.
Her name is. Are you ready, Gabrielle?
Gabrielle
Oh
Union.
my God! Thank you.
We're stupid.
I was not going to ask you the
are.
other question because way too. It might be the
Do it,
easiest.
do it.
It's probably the easiest question I've seen on these cards.
We are stupid. Yeah.
What color were the bathing suits worn by the lifeguards in Baywatch?
Orange. No, they're this color.
Are they red?
Yeah, they're red.
Yeah, it's one of
Well,
the easiest questions I've seen on
They wore yellow sometimes as well.
It's red.
Caution.
Yeah, because they were lifeguards. Right? Or were those the beach guards and
Yeah,
then the lifeguards?
lifeguards
were-
wear red in,
But
in every state.
I swear there's episodes where they're wearing yellow.
So a lifeguard guards life. What does a beach guard do?
The beach. They do beach.
Their job is just beach.
is beach.
We're going to the beach.
The job is beach.
I don't get in the water.
It's
I'm
not
just on the
surfing.
beach. Right.
You would think my job is surfing. It's not.
No, it's beach.
You know what my job is? It's just beach.
Beach.
I'm good
Just
at it.
beaching, bro.
Just out here being.
You're so brave. Thank you, Barbie.
I want to say something about that movie.
We talked about it a little bit last
I'm gonna
week,
say it
too.
again.
Have you seen Barbie?
I haven't.
There's only one part to see,
I actually think it's
and
worth
that's
watching.
just
but
a Ryan Gosling. Everything he says in that movie.
He-
It's just him.
So
He's the movie.
I've watched
He's
his
so
bloopers.
funny.
Yeah, and
Like
it's
where
probably
he's
amazing.
like my rose, like the shouting like the most ridiculous things
he
there.
is
What did he say
so
when
good
she
at playing
finally?
that role, and he
Right.
did such a good job as a Ken in that movie.
I need to see it because my alarm system for my house is Wojo Dojo's Casa House, but it's just because I thought it was funny. I just haven't seen the movie.
That is
That part is just so because they're like all those mean house. You can just say like
Yeah.
he's a no because it's Mojo Dojo Kaisa.
It's my house.
It's Ken's Mojo Dojo Kaisa.
The fight scene on the beach is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. On film.
It's just watch it.
I need to.
I will say it's now for rent. It's not for the longest time. You
It
could
was
still
buy,
only
right?
buy it,
Yeah.
but you can rent it now, and it's like one of the $5 ones. It's,
We'll talk
you know,
later. We'll get you on Plex here.
Okay.
or that.
We're gonna help you out.
Just
But
save
I do think
save
it's
me
worth
these
watching.
$5 a week. Man. I've been
Oh,
killing
yeah.
myself.
I will. I can just trust me. I don't look at me, FBI.
Weird Barbie is also a vibe.
Yeah, we can get into it when we actually review the movie. How about that? Because I got stuff to say. Beyond that, the tomatometer time, the Rotten Tomato score, the Rotten Teas, the T-shirts that have tomatoes on them out of 100%. What do we think the critics and audience gave it? Don't look at me. I'm just saying shit.
I'm nervous.
You're nervous?
Yeah, it can't be high,
It might be.
or it could.
I would imagine. Yeah, audience maybe mid-range. Critics probably
I
not
can do
great.
that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because again, maybe critics saw something I didn't. Maybe critics saw something they look for specific things. So I don't know. But
Well, it's got the chain. It's got
The symbolism.
The symbolism
behind-
of holding the chain.
Chained by your demons. Yeah.
Okay.
whoa.
If I
All of
could
a sudden,
give,
this
And
movie is
where
the top 10 of mine.
and where do demons live?
In the radiator.
How and what's the temperature down there?
it's very hot. Good one, Tara.
I almost said the trailer park, but I was like, let me
No.
go with the.
I mean, there's some that live there.
No.
There's some demons that live in the
Oh,
trailer.
she's one of them.
Ooh. All right.
I don't
Tara,
like that he
Tara
kept his
first.
dogs outside.
Tara first. Critics.
Like,
They're
Why do you-
hounds.
why do you
They're
have
coon
dogs?
hounds.
He's not a hunter. He's a farmer.
Yeah,
What you got him for?
Keeps the rabbits and stuff out. In
How?
Right.
They're caged.
not all the time.
Not all the time. When
And-
he's when
and
you run a tractor,
the
you got
smell-
him caged up.
The smell and the sounds of the
Please.
dogs are gonna
Please.
have animals
Don't.
going. No.
The South is
Outside
different.
all time.
The South is different.
Right.
Doesn't make
They treat dogs differently. It's for work, not for
The South
cuddles.
is different. Sorry.
I get it. I don't want to. I will cuddle my dogs.
Dogs are humans too.
So Tara, critics audience score.
Okay, I'm gonna say critics. I'm gonna say critics 57.
$57. Okay.
I also felt like her black eye healed up really quick.
No, she had it for a week.
Yeah. they
No,
were
it was
for-
really, really light. Like the next day. Look, there's the audience 63.
Okay.
Critics 37. Audience.
People have said 7.
No, 37. Audience 51.
You were sitting on that 37, weren't you? Because
He
you,
really,
vo-
I
you
feel
were
like
just
he
like,
knew right
yeah,
away. He
that's
was
what
going
I
to say
wanted.
you're like, critics
37.
37.
Yeah, I was like, that can't be good.
It can't be good. All right, I'm gonna. I
No,
guess.
I agree. I don't see critics being like, this
I don't-
is an 80. Like,
Here's what I mean. I guess critics 78.
oh,
and
wow.
I guess audience 65. I thought critically people would have been like, oh yeah, it's a good movie. It's well written. It's well acted. There's a message there. I didn't see the message, but there's a message there. That's what I thought.
I mean, I think the
So-
message is there. I don't think it was great.
I don't think it was
But-
well portrayed.
And I
to me.
said I liked a lot of the. I
I think
actually
a lot
did
of girls like, you know what I got to do? I got to chain myself to the radio.
Right. That's
I
how I got to
actually
get these
did
demons out of me.
think that like a lot of the acting was like I thought she threw herself into that. I mean, she like
There were. I am shitting on this movie, but the acting was good. Like when he's playing the guitar and she's like looking back at the door,
That
and
was
it's like
cool, yeah.
storming.
and then
Yeah.
with the
she's
storm
like,
and she's getting
and
very.
she, like,
I mean,
clutches
you
his
could
leg.
feel like even though her fits were weird, like
Yeah.
because you were like, why is this happening to her? She was in them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she fully encompassed that like.
well, there's a lot of psychological and sexual,
Tension.
not tension, but just torture.
And,
Essentially,
and to be
yeah,
half
yeah.
and to
As
be
a
half
child.
naked through
Yeah.
most of the stuff she was doing, to be like acting fucked up and distraught and panicked and
I didn't put this fun fact down, but she did say that throughout all of filming to be comfortable in those scenes, having barely no clothes on or no clothes on at all, she walked around the set completely naked the whole time. So all the cast and crew and everybody was okay with it as well.
Oh.
So it was so much that they were just, everybody was like, all right, this is normal.
What a pleasant
Wow.
set.
I know, right?
Okay.
Christina Ricci, huh? I've seen Casper. This is nice. Fuck. What
Oh my
time
God,
is it?
she was like 12 in that.
But they were probably 12 too.
She's not 12 in this.
Right,
Oh!
exactly. All right, so it's actually critics 66.
I'm really not like this. I'm sorry.
You hear that?
66.
Critics 66. Audience nice.
It's not a number.
She got
It's 69,
Oh.
isn't it?
Oh.
IMDb score nice.
6.9.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It had
Perfect.
somebody
I feel
had
like
yeah.
if you go and look, I feel like you got to go. I'm not putting a rating because it
Right.
needs to stay.
It's
here.
gotta stay.
She
Yeah,
has
we
to
the-
stay here.
Are we the only ones that just didn't
like it.
like this movie?
I mean, a 66 isn't
It's mid range.
like a giant pass, but it's not a like ooh.
It's not. Yeah, it's not getting pooped on.
No,
Right.
I feel we've talked about this before. I
seen-
feel like 50s is, 60s is,
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
and then the 70s, 80s are like yeah, and then the 90s are like oh my God.
Yeah.
Can't believe what I'm watching.
I just gave sounds to all of what the ratings are.
I like it.
What's 40?
Nah.
30 is
Yeah.
20 is
10? You're just
silence.
pooping. You're just pooping.
Silence
Okay.
because you're not even silence because you're not even talking about it.
So ghost prisoners of the Ghostland. Just
no, actually, Prisoners of the Ghostland specifically is what the fuck, because that's what we decided. That's the summary of the movie. What the fuck?
This movie. Who was your favorite character, Tara? There's not many.
So there's only 6.
Yeah.
So,
I think my favorite character is Samuel L. Jackson, but I think I like her, like just what she put into the movie, edged him out for me, because I do feel like he didn't have to do as much for his role.
You're right.
Like to sell,
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
you know, because it was, while he had a lot going on and while he was emotional and he was like intense at times, he was mellow in comparison.
I agree
to,
with that.
you know, to her. She had to really like put more into it. So character, him, but as far as like who I'm giving the performance, her.
It's all, to follow what you said though, it's like that old man thing. Because like I know I'm set in my ways.
Sure.
So like when you're that old. That's when he was like, when Justin Elliott was threatening to shoot him, he was like, just fucking.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what I've been through?
Right. You either
like,
gonna shoot me or
do it, buddy.
I
like,
love that part.
Yeah.
And then even when she says something and he turns it and he like jumps in front of it and he's like, you keep it on me, like just right here.
Yeah.
Well, because he knew that he wasn't going to shoot him, but he might shoot her.
Might shoot her because there's a difference between like hate and that love hate.
Yep.
But I just,
like,
but
love,
like
what
you
is
said,
it, like love and hate are like right on the.
Yeah.
The pace of this movie being only a week that she was there. I mean, he very quickly became very protective and like a father figure almost to her.
Yeah.
Like when they're holding each other at the end, like
it's very nice.
and he's like, we will always,
We'll always
be
nice.
there. Like we will always be like.
She goes, "Don't let me go," and I was like, one piece of dust in this whole stupid movie.
And when even when he picked her up after she beat her mom up, and he's literally holding her like a child because she didn't really have
a
childhood. When that happens to you, you kind of.
And did she even
ruined
have a dad too? Right, like that wasn't her dad
didn't
who
have
did
a
it.
father figure.
Yeah.
Who knows what that is?
Right.
I also do kind of like how subtle they were about it, though. They didn't do a full flashback where they showed the whole incident.
We didn't.
They gave you enough to know she went through it.
Didn't show the monster's face, you know.
I kind of like.
Well, yeah,
okay,
he was always
okay.
blurry.
Now that we're talking about it, I kind of like how when she's first waking up on the couch, I thought it was somebody coming in the house and with the lighter and everything, and then you gradually, with her, realize, oh, that's her reliving her trauma and the attacker, and maybe she can't even see that guy's face because she can't.
She's
blots
like
it out,
toned
right,
it out. Yeah.
right. Wild. Josh, what are you going?
My favorite character is the lady, the pharmacist.
Pharmacist. Okay. Yeah.
Like her
I
because
like her too.
she helped because like you can kind of tell that she liked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, obviously there was like an attraction between the two of them. She knew what he went through.
Oh, smell! I'm wearing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like she played, like
Oh my God,
he was.
she just sat there and sang for him.
Yeah, like he was very nice
so
to her.
comfortable.
I like the whole dynamic of the relationship.
There was comfort there.
And then even when like she was distraught when he was carrying her out of there because she's like, oh my God, he's got the town whore. This is your niece, you know, like
This is who I've been helping you with.
And then even though like he went over there and he was like, hey, look, I need help. This is what's going on.
Yeah.
And she was right there. And then the
more cough medicine.
then the hand holding at the end, I was like, wow, that's nice.
It's a nice lady. Yeah,
because all that like they obviously both had their struggles, Samuel and Christina Ricci. So it was good to see him come out on top as well. You know what I mean? Well, I don't think she's coming.
I really
she
liked.
might
I
relapse.
really liked the pastor too.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
his
because he
pastor
wasn't.
friend.
He could have been a lot worse, right? He could have been like, he even said, oh, "What the fuck is going on here?" Kind of. You got.
I mean, he definitely gave
up.
him crap, but then immediately jumped in to help. And then even at the end, when he calls him over and he's like, "Just get here," and he sits them down like a couples therapy. But I meant to talk about the scenes. Sorry, I'm like jumping on your time. I meant to talk about this scene earlier when he sits down and he's having them talk about because clearly they had talked about their past and they knew what the other, but they couldn't like communicate it properly with each other. And what I liked is Sam sitting behind them because he didn't even know all of her story. After even spending a week, just didn't know why she had these demons, didn't even care. He was like, we're just going to help you figure them out. Yeah. But him sitting back there listening to her talk about like, you know, what it does to her and like, and all this stuff. And he's just kind of taking it in and almost like, well, I couldn't have done this.
Right.
Like, so welcoming the help and watching them figure it out.
Nice.
It was like it was like a dad kind of like watching over them
for sure.
while they went through it.
My favorite character, pharmacist as well. I thought she had a very good character just in general. Like there's nothing bad about her in this movie.
Good woman.
The minute you see her, she's let me help this guy out just because. Like, aren't you gonna get in trouble? I don't know if anybody knows about it. You know what I mean? Like just doing what she needs to do.
She's
and
like his fucking cough syrup.
that too. Yeah.
It's
I mean,
fine.
yeah. If she gets worse, call me because I
Exactly.
might have fucked up, giving this for a wrong thing. But I don't know. I just like that she didn't really even she liked Samuel L. Jackson, and who wouldn't? And she just
Made him a picnic.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she was just
Adorable.
just nice, and the world needs more people like her.
I've been eating like a princess.
All right, favorite part or scene? Anybody can take it.
I was waiting for you to start going ahead.
I mean, I'll go for it. It was literally Samuel Jackson playing guitar in that thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Like the way it's cutting in and out with the power
Also, him
was cool.
telling the story and it being the Black Snake Moan
Song.
Yeah. I really liked that too. One minor thing I would add to it is later when they or before that, no, after
Yes.
when they go out.
Yeah, after.
Yes, I was going
That's
to say that's
after,
mine.
right?
Yeah.
When they go out, because if you, again, I've seen the movie before, but if you think about the movie up until then, she hadn't smiled. Until she was out, just like she wasn't even drinking, she wasn't having sex,
Yeah.
she was just in this comfortable place. She wasn't concerned with anything was going to happen, and her smile is huge
Right.
while she's dancing with that older guy and everything, and then it turns into her kind of letting go and just not even needing to be on drugs or
Let
being
loose.
drunk
Right.
I
to
thought
have
it was.
fun.
I thought it was different. I was split. Like watching that scene, I almost had like anxiety. Like, oh, is she gonna disappear to the
right, yeah,
bathroom
she
with
gonna-
one of these guys?
And
Like
that's- to
literally,
me,
is what I
I
was
felt-
thinking. Because like he's obviously the pastor's there with her. Like also a drinking pastor in the South. I thought was kind of not odd, but just different because he was seemed like such a good man.
Right.
You
and
know.
then he just let's
he's like,
fucking let's go.
But anywho, yeah, so I was like watching that scene. I didn't think, see how you thought she was comfortable. I was thinking, I was like, oh, is she gonna relapse?
Yeah.
Like
I
right
think
here, like because they were, they're grinding.
maybe
Multiple men,
and maybe
yeah.
maybe
especially
it's
that
the
one
old
young
guy,
stud
yeah,
there,
old
there,
guy,
there
yeah.
at the
maybe
end.
it's
I was
a
like, oh boy.
girl thing that I saw it different, like that I just saw it in her a different way,
Right.
that she was feeling a different. But even like when that woman comes up and dances with her too,
Yeah.
like they just welcomed her in there, and like not to get too like on the other side here, but clearly not a bar that
Yeah,
she would normally be at, and they were just like,
it's definitely like a black
whatever,
black bar
like,
in
you
this
know,
He said
like-
it.
Yeah.
I didn't, I just around it, but like.
They want a clean floor to
was-
do it
and
on.
I also I like that whole thing, like from them sitting there singing, and then eventually he's like, "We just need to face it that we are people who go out, and we just need to live our lives." And
Yeah.
they go out. That whole thing from the mellow of them singing and it being emotional with Thunderstorm, and then jumping to them being out. Like I think that is almost a culmination. Like this very sad song, they're both very traumatized. They both have been through some shit. Jump to this upbeat, happy music, all these people having fun,
Right.
her smiling, like
And
two
having a
very
good time.
different
Right, yeah, yeah.
musical experiences in the
Yes.
movie.
It's like music, pretty much sums up music. like
That would be, yeah. What do you got, Josh?
fucking fence.
Oh,
All right.
my bad. It's Samuel Jackson just taking out the trash. Oh, look, a white woman.
Jeez,
Yeah, what do you got? You got a favorite
Her
person?
face was fucked
My favorite
up.
what?
Parsing?
Oh yeah, that was the
Oh, yeah, same thing?
yeah,
Okay.
the club, the little bar
All right.
thing.
We got any what the fuck moments then? Was there any part where you're like, what the fuck?
When the kid comes in the house, I feel like.
So do we think that they got through it all?
His pants were down.
Oh no, they did. He asked him, and was that your first time?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that.
Could have just been the first time in.
I think you think you're saying did he finish?
Well, were they getting in the deed? Like, were they?
Yes,
Was he
I
full on
absolutely
in?
It started.
think. Yeah,
It
I
started.
absolutely think he had been inside of her. If that's what you're asking, because I don't think he would have asked him. But even though
just
that
went
was
from
a
6 to
what
midnight.
the, even though that was a what the fuck moment when
Yeah.
that she just because he was probably a teenager,
Yeah.
I
maybe
was
maybe
thinking
15,
12,
Yeah,
16.
13,
Oh
yeah.
no, he's older than 12. That kid was tall.
Yeah, but you see his suit, like his frame as a child.
Oh, he was lean.
There was a child.
He was definitely lean, but that's why I say teen. I would put him like
abandoned
All
my
right.
boy.
I would put him maybe
13.
15 maybe is what I was gonna
Jesus
say.
Christ. 13 to 16.
But she
You're my boy, Blue.
even like she did not want to be found. She was like, I don't want to do
Yeah, she
this.
was
I don't want to.
hiding,
And
yeah.
she like sneaks over. But then it was almost like as soon as the door opened, she was like,
She ripped her shirt
nothing
off.
I can do. She tried not to. She like snuck all the way across the room.
I just don't get.
And just But honestly, if it wasn't a 15-year-old, if this was like, an attractive guy, attractive girl, he walks in, the leg wrap as she shuts the door, that's dope. Like that was a move. That was a move.
If not, that's in her repertoire now. Yeah.
That's a move. Sorry.
I just to me, I just don't understand. I know that doesn't really matter, but like I don't understand why she need to D so much.
Well, I mean, I obviously think it stems from
the sexual
abuse because it obviously to her it connects to a different part of her brain than it's supposed to, and so.
Okay. Hypersexuality.
She even with him at one point when she was like, telling him it's okay, she was crying. Like, yes, later when she was feeling better and she was like, I mean, do whatever you want, but I have to leave.
Right.
When she was still kind of sick, she was crying when she was like, it's okay. It's okay. Because I think when she was vulnerable, when she was sick, she knew that it wasn't okay, but she was like, whatever, I've been through it. And then when she's awake and she's more lucid, that's her default where it's like, she has to act like, I don't care, do whatever. Like, it's fine. It's whatever. It's
one
fine.
little what the fuck. Who was her trailer? All the lights were on.
I thought about that too. Like was that guy just living there? Maybe that's what he meant by I know where all your stuff is.
That's what,
because he was the only one who knew that she wasn't there.
Justin
so was that
said it looks like no one's been it looks like she hasn't been here the whole time.
Yeah,
like
so was that their trailer, Ronnie and hers? Okay.
Her underwear was still in there and everything, like on the floor from where they. But he said it looks like she hasn't even been here since I left.
Yeah, because she's been out fucking.
Only the one time. The one day, I mean.
It was an aggressive day.
He said 2 hours later.
How much to get me fucked up?
She had three in that day. Because him before he left, and then she went to Tyrone's, and then the guy that raped her in the field.
The fun facts of the fucking week. Christina Ricci wore a 40-pound chain during filming. Writer and director Craig Brewer brought various different chains on the set and told Ricci to choose which one that suited her best. So they probably brought in, fake ones or whatever, and she said, "No, well, let's use the real one."
I mean, if she hadn't, she would have had to act like it was heavy and stuff, and I feel like that's almost better, like to have. It's not like they needed to put a big ass one on, but enough to feel the
right. I'm assuming
weight.
In certain scenes it was probably a fake. Maybe like foam one, when she's getting pulled or when she's having to do certain things, it probably
maybe.
was. But
maybe. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, that's how it came off.
Whatever.
Samuel L. Jackson learned to play the guitar for this film while completing production of Snakes on a Plane. These
snakes in this year for him.
This film was the other of the two films released the same year in which Jackson starred with the word snake in the title.
Very different movies.
Also, imagine him on that scene or on that movie set learning to play guitar with all that going on around. Like literally just
Black
nonsense.
Snake on me.
I wonder if obviously the working title of the film was probably Snakes on a Plane, right? But do you think they're like, well, obviously they're going to change it. It's not just going to be called Snakes on a Plane. And then he's like, get these motherfucking snakes.
Have this motherfucking plane.
And sold it.
Done.
I would watch that movie 10 times out of 10 before I watch this again.
Oh, yeah, that movie's bothering me.
No, this movie is more my movie than that one.
Than Snake?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd rather a good laugh than a like...
But that's not my kind of humor. So to me, it's not a good laugh. So like, it's more of a snicker, that movie to me.
I like any type of laugh. So if you can make me laugh with a snake being thrown at somebody on a plane, I'm going to be like, all right.
There's so many.
I also
so many
like,
snakes.
After
you don't like. Where are you gonna
go? I'd be open that door.
Not after, but while the boy's in there. I meant to say that. That's one of my favorite little snippets of the movie is when it's like shooting from above the house and it shows him arrive and walk in and he's like, God damn it! You don't see the reaction. You just hear him from inside the house, then kicking the kid out.
The title of the film derives from the Blind Lemon Jefferson song recorded in 1927. Black Snake Moan. Producers felt that Christina Ricci being scantily clad and nude in most of the movie were huge selling points to attract an audience, which is ironic since they almost didn't cast her because they initially felt she wasn't sexy enough. So they used images of her almost naked in the marketing campaigns, on posters, DVD covers, etc. But Ricci was upset about it because it focused more on her physical assets than her acting. To this day, she refuses to autograph any memorabilia related to the film.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
You know, one other actress I could see taking her role in this movie, I cannot remember her name, but she plays a fantastic white trash female from Hustle and Flow, the white girl.
I don't like her.
No?
No, like she was also in 8 Mile. She was also in, what was the Britney Spears, Crossroads. Like she's like. She was in Orange is the New Black. She's also wild right now on Instagram. Like she's.
Oh yeah, well she's going through shit. Like,
did you see that story about like she was sleeping with a married man?
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
all
Taryn Manning, the chick that was from
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black. 100%, you're correct.
Yeah,
That is made for her.
Yeah, when I think of a white trash, like it's her.
Yeah.
Because
But
like
I think that's
she's
why
cute
she's not
back
good
in the
for
day.
it. I think that's why she's not good for it, because I think you don't get anything else from them. If she plays that role, you don't get anything else from it.
That's the thing. Is like, well,
And she's not good enough. Like she's not a good actress.
I'm not mad.
She's
at your-
phoning it home. Like
I'm
she's
not
in
mad
those
at it.
movies to play that part.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
she's
yeah.
not. You know what I mean?
But I mean,
She's
that's-
not a good actress.
By the way, it was DJ Qualls who was the guy that he was talking about.
Yeah, from
His name is
from
DJ Qualls.
DJ
Yeah.
Qualls from the New Guy. He was also in
That's his real name.
Supernatural.
It's
He
crazy.
was in Road Trip.
Yeah.
DJ Qualls. He's homosexual.
Really?
Came out just like last year, publicly.
Yes.
Came out
you're right.
like just last year.
All right. Final decision time. We put a twist on this now. This is new. You ready?
Yeah.
So you're going to give us your out of 10 score, but then you're going to say if you think this is a must watch, a recommend, or a skip.
Well, we already know he's going to say skip, so we can skip that.
Well, we're going to go to Tara first then.
Okay. Even though it was my pick, and I would watch this movie again because I liked it. I actually do like this movie.
The more we've discussed it, it's gotten better.
I agree with you that, especially if you haven't seen it, the length probably like you notice that more. I just knew what was happening in it already, so it doesn't. And the first time I saw it, I was younger. Long movies don't. I mean, when you're younger, it doesn't matter how long the movie is. Like your attention span is different. Like you're in it. But
I agree.
I would still watch this movie again. Like I thought they did a good job acting their parts, even though it's a weird concept. But with this concept, you could have really fucked up. Like this guy keeping a girl chained up in his house. Like this could have gone
worse.
really bad.
Yeah.
And it could have been really inappropriate and uncomfortable and offensive. Like they could have been handled incorrectly.
I agree.
So I give it a 6.5.
And
I like this movie,
you
and
recommend it.
I would. It is not a must watch. But I still would recommend people seeing it for the sheer fact that I don't think a lot of people have seen it.
Okay.
And if they watch it and they never want to watch it again,
Sure.
no skin off my back. But like, I think it's worth a watch still.
Understandable. This is one of my lowest rated.
Oh my God.
Movies,
Here we
I
go.
think. I was keeping score, but this is low. 4.
4 out of 10.
Yeah, like this is no shade.
Yeah.
It's just not for me.
Yeah.
They did not make this movie going, Josh, we're just gonna love this.
Josh could be all about it.
They did not do that. Okay, but I don't want to say I'm gonna skip it because I would recommend it to someone I don't know
Who may like it?
Yeah.
like maybe more into like something like
right, but
Okay.
but I would skip it for sure. No shade. Because now I'm telling you, when I first came in, me and Steve, we were ready to shit on this fucking movie. Okay, and the more like I said, the more we've talked about it, I'm like, man, there are some really good parts, but still, it's way too long. They could trim 30 minutes out of this bad boy.
They could, yeah.
Minimal.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were 40 minutes in, and I was like, where are we going?
Yeah.
Like, what are we like? Was she still on the couch? Like, I didn't know.
To be fair, if you were to cut 30 minutes out, because I think one of the problems is some of the scenes, there were a lot of short scenes that may have not seemed needed, but I think it needed to show where they were in her getting better process. But then the longer scenes, I guess you could have shortened, because I do feel like there were some things where you couldn't take out.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like, what would you?
Well, it's not really take out, but it's just like shorten. Like the whole, like her going into the grocery store. Like, yeah, I get it. It's important. Everyone's like, oh gosh, there she is. And does everyone know that that's her mom? Like, do people know that that's her mom, or is there?
So my thing is, without her going in the grocery store, you don't find out as much about her past.
That's what I mean.
Then it's
so
like,
that's fine.
That's
but
what I mean by
do
like,
we need
what
the
do you
5
like?
minutes of her walking in the aisles, like
real quick, just a real quick.
Yeah, like do we need that? No, get right in there and be like, hit her with the mop.
Hit her with a mop. Just mop it.
But that's the problem is like when you have like, because that's her storyline, and they're also showing you
his stuff,
his storyline where he's having the picnic, and then he's like realizing, oh, they're gathering there. I haven't seen her. He knows it's about her,
right?
You know, so I don't know. Short.
I'm gonna piggyback off you. After talking about it, I do think the movie's not as bad as we were both like, fuck this movie.
It was just, it was definitely a man. It was just like a man's opinion of like, this was this shit. I didn't laugh once.
I didn't laugh at all over this serious
That movie
movie.
is supposed to be a comedy.
I need one joke in every movie.
I get it. And I forget that there's not only comedy.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's why, like,
I'm going into this thinking it's going to be comedy.
Yeah, I live in Delulu land too. Like,
Right,
I'm like,
yeah,
every
exactly.
movie's an Adam Sandler movie.
Right. So, I lost my train of thought there
I'm
because
sorry.
you made me think of Adam Sandler.
mean
And
to
my
interrupt
brain went to joking about Adam Sandler and shampoo's better. I don't know. So, like, I'm going to give this movie a 5 out of 10. I was going to give it a 4 as well. But after talking about it, I can see the whole point of the movie now, because before I was just like, I don't what is happening here? Like Josh even said, we're like 45 minutes in, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, how are they going to fit another hour and a half into this movie?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, I was like, what's going to happen? And then what happens, and I fast forward a little bit, because I was like, this is not, like, I need to go through it. But I did it in a way where I could see what was happening. And I skipped over a couple parts that I don't think mattered. So
It's hard to say because I don't know what you skipped over. Right?
We don't even get into it.
You know what you should do? You need to watch it again.
Shut up. Can I give a fair assessment on a movie that I fast forwarded maybe 5 minutes in? I think so. If I went like 10 minutes, a little too much. I needed to get it in before you guys got here because I had a busy day today. So I did.
Had to work at work.
Yeah, it sucks. I know,
When that
right?
happens.
So, I mean, and again, the movie for me just, I don't want to say it falls flat. It just doesn't work. You know what I mean? Like, I get the performances are great. Samuel L. Jackson is always great. I've never seen him do something where he's either phoning it in or just bad at it. Christina Ricci, definitely great. So I'm giving this movie a 5 based on their performances. Everything else for me is just meh. You know, like, I get the idea of the abuse and what she's going through. I don't get why it makes her just want dick all the time, and I don't get why Justin Timberlake is just like, hey, this is cool, that's fine, but I'm going to have super anxiety and stay with a woman who would give me even more anxiety because she wants dick all the time. That could be mine or could be somebody else. It doesn't work in my brain. So I don't know, 5 out of 10. I'm going to say skip it. Like, literally, I don't think there's a redeeming quality about this movie beyond Christina Ricci just in no clothes. And that's very sexist to say. And I'm not even saying that is like, watch it because of that. I'm saying skip it because of that.
What I will say, just from what I know.
She's going to rebuttal me here.
No. Just from what I know.
Just what I know.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to say this.
Watching.
From my perspective.
Yeah. Okay. A woman's perspective.
Sure.
Or Tara's perspective. That's two different
You
things.
could say woman, but that's
Sure.
a little too specific. So
Specific time?
there is a connection to women that have been sexually assaulted by, especially by a authority figure in their
Trusting
life,
man.
That looks like
where
he's just
they
sexually
do
assaulting
end
her,
up going a more promiscuous route.
Like hypersexuality.
Yes,
I
like
get it.
because
I get it.
they
They think
can't
that's what it- yeah.
disconnect love and
High
emotion
quality,
and
yeah.
sex
Well,
and
full
all
of high
these
quality,
things in
sorry.
like the right places.
Yep.
Right.
I get with this movie, it went a step further, making it almost a like thing that she was incapable of avoiding.
Correct.
But if you take out the fit part of it, that is a very real thing that happens to girls who were at a young age went through something like that.
I
Agreed.
understand that.
Agreed.
It's almost like the extremes either happen. It's like you shut down and you're like,
Or
nobody touch me.
Or I'm touching
I
everybody.
can't trust anybody.
Right.
Or it's this is what I connect to.
I get it.
To being liked and being
Correct.
accepted now.
Like
So
it's like you're hit of dopamine.
So like maybe it's a different thing too. Like you have to know that that's what happens.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So with that being said, that's it. We're done for that episode.
I will say I'm at least glad that I was on par with what the ratings were. with the ratings were. Yeah. With my 6 whatever I
You
said,
weren't at a
but
6.9 though, so
no, I wasn't gonna say. I was not. If Walter was here and he liked it enough, he would have done a stupid 6.9 because that's what he likes to do. If not just to piss me off with his 7.1s and shit.
7.629.
Walter.
Speaking of Walter, next week he's back and it's his pick.
And he already gave it to you, right? We already know what
it's locked in. Okay. We're getting back.
Josh possibly next week as well.
Yeah. This is gonna be if it's good.
If it's good. Oh my God, that's what he's doing. He's not skipping because of work. He's going. Do I like it?
He wouldn't have been here this week. Yeah. So we're getting.
Because you weren't here last week. That's the only reason.
We're going back to animation for Walter's pick.
Okay.
And it's a big budget animation movie with some big actors in the title roles.
Is it Eight Crazy Nights?
No.
I just saw that. I was scrolling through something and it popped up.
I don't think Wally looks and goes, "Oh, it's like the holiday season. Maybe I should pick a holiday movie."
I love that. I've seen that movie so many times.
He went the opposite and went to space. We're doing Titan AE.
Okay.
This is a movie?
It's really good.
I haven't seen it. Does it follow the Titan anime?
No.
Mm-mm.
This is, I believe it's Matt Damon and Dennis Quaid.
I think it is Matt Damon.
Yeah. That's all I'm going to say. It's good.
Okay, I'm definitely check it out.
It was like a 90s.
Well, yeah, because you have to, because you're going to be.
Yeah. It was a 90s.
I'll definitely watch it.
I'll definitely check it out.
It was a 90s movie. I'm pretty sure it's like 87 minutes, so you're in and out.
It is anime. It's not cartoon though. It's definitely like that animated vibe though, isn't it? More.
Well, so it's like it was kind of like when we did Treasure Planet, where they had some
it's like
3D elements.
Oh,
into
that looks
it.
cool.
Like the bigger things that happen are more like that. Yeah.
It's a good movie. It's the story to it's pretty good. Don't look at anything that has to do with it.
No, it was like 2000. Looks pretty good for.
Oh, 2000. Okay, yeah. So right at the cusp there. So next week Titan AE. This week Black Snake Moan. What a good difference of what we're doing here. That's why you listen to the show. We have so much. Everything's different every week. Anyways, if you are enjoying this, please like and favorite, subscribe, do your thing. Give us a review on I don't know, fucking. What is it? Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify. Do that. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you got. If not, tell us we suck. I don't fucking care. I'm here for it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Catch you next week. Titan AE.
Yeah.
Bye.